things. Number one is that I teach in the School of Education, meaning that I am a teacher. So once you join us, you'll find me in your classes doing the same. Then the other thing is that I am the head of academic advisory for the students that is in the School of Education. I do so many other things, quite a number of things. Maybe just to mention, I am actually the ambassador for peace education in Mount Kenya University. And now I am a team leader for a program that we are having with UNESCO, and that has been sponsored by UNESCO. And we are also working together with Nairobi University. We call it the 3O Plus, about our lives. That is about our rights, our lives, and our future. And what we are concerned about, if you can hear me, I hope there's not much noise in my background. And what we pay attention to in that program is about the issues that affect the youth, including their mental health, including their career choices, anything that affects the youth at this particular point. And now, because I've not been, because I would also like the others to have a chance to share what they have, I'll try to share my materials, and maybe I'll have my video log now that you have been able to see me. Quite most welcome here. It is good when I am talking to the student, when I'm talking to the students in high school, I always like to tell them everything is very possible. Because sometimes we hide through our background, we hide behind our schools, we hide behind so many other things. But I can assure you the many things that we all talk about and we hide behind them. Sometimes unless we take a step and we work through them through education, then the song will remain forever and ever and ever more. Again, to the ladies, it is possible to work hard and to excel. And that's why I don't hide. I'm a doctor, soon becoming a professor. So for my sons, that's my boys, it's also very, very possible. Who doesn't want to have somebody who has a career and who has a sense of direction? It is really irritating when you have someone who cannot even tell where he's coming from and where he's heading. Having said that, let us try. I try to escape the full screen and see whether I am able to share. If I'm not able to, then I'll quickly ask my friend to do so. Okay. Just a minute, I see whether I'm able to do that. Just wondering whether I've shared. Confirm for me.
Yes, we can see your screen, madam.
Thank you so much. Sorry, in a way that I have shared, I may not be able to see the other buttons. It's about lifelong learning, but thank you if you can see it. Sorry, we just get to the first screen. So students, today we are going to be dealing with something that really exciting. That really excites my heart as well, because if there was no one to guide me when I was young, then I wonder where I could have been now. And sometimes this guidance about or other career guidance, sometimes it comes to us even without exactly knowing that is happening, other than this one that today we are doing and we already know that's going on. I want to start with my story when I was growing up. And what happened was that I like talking. I am this person who is all over. Okay, I love my talking. I love being out there. I am not a person who sits down and I am in an office for many hours. And so when I was then in school, because of the talking, sometimes, when you're in school and you're all over, some of the teachers are wondering what is wrong with you. And it happened anyway, even for me. But then I had one person who just understood who I was. And interestingly, that was my mother. And my mother told me, Mary, as I have said, that's my name, you like talking too much. And because I have to tell you this also, I am a bishop's daughter. That's nice. And so said, you talk too much, Mary. Why is it like you cannot just go to church, you be testifying and you join the choir? In short, my mom was telling me, from what you have, you can still get somewhere. Then, of course, being a pastor's daughter, I joined church. You know, I could sing, I could testify. Later on, my mom said, why can't you just look for career that you can be talking and you get paid? Then I was there thinking, which are these careers that you need to talk and talk and talk and you get paid? Finally, I realized teaching requires you to have a lot of knowledge, a lot of competencies, but it calls for you to talk. And then at the end of the month, you get paid. Again, how about what I'm doing today? I can assure you, my student, I'm enjoying what I am doing, talking and talking. And at the end of the day, I'll have to be paid something. That is for true. So in short, we are saying we have to think through what we require so that we can grow. Having said that, let us start now from here. I don't know how to get this so that I can be able to see my screen. And I hope I can move this. Yeah, good. I'm trying. I'm doing very, very well. And there we go. Good. And therefore, when we talk about this, I would like us to look from what we believe in, especially in Mount Kenya University, about unlocking career possibilities. And once we think about unlocking, what is this that we mean? That we have them already in us. What we just need to do is just to let them kufungua, okay? Meaning ziko, but we just need to open. And that's why we are talking about unlocking. So we are not calling you here to do something that you don't have within you. We are calling you here to help you identify what you already know so that you can actually use it. And now, what do we mean here? That an effective pursuit of the road to a successful career requires setting goals. I know when I come here and I start talking about setting goals, you tell me, anyway, these are things that we have heard our teachers say over and over again. I can assure you today, before I came here, I have just been reminded again about setting goals. It is so nice that I attended something similar and I was sitting on the other side by coincidence. And these things continue on over and over again. That we are also saying you have to, aspiration, where are you going? And today, the question where we were asked, 10 years down the line, where do you see yourself? Sometimes I don't even like giving it so many years. I like asking 5 years down the line, where do you see yourself? And if you cannot actually define where you can see yourself 5 years to come, we always say, then any road will lead to where, you know, because you don't know where you are going. Then having the goals and aspirations is one thing. You have to demonstrate. You have to demonstrate. And you don't have to worry about these notes. I believe that Ben will be able to share, because we also don't want to bother you writing so much. We don't want you to be secretaries here. So you have to demonstrate you are doing it. I remember when we were in secondary school, everybody was saying, oh, I'm going to the university, I'm going to the university. Then once we would get there, we would ask you them, what are you doing? Now, unaweza ona kitabu yako ya mathematics, how far are you? Then they would say, don't worry, Mary hiyo nili drop. Then you ask, how about English? Hata hiyo nime drop. You ask, how about the sciences? Are you asking me about that, teacher, honestly? So you have to demonstrate that the route that you are going to take, you are actually committed to it. Determination is also something. And when we talk about determination, it just means whether the road is tough, you are ready to get to where you are going. I like that my name is Chewy. And what happens to those animals, the chewies and the cats, once they focus on what they want to get, okay, it does not matter what comes its way, it has to achieve. And I hope, please, Ben, tell me if you just get to know that the noise is too much. Then you have to be ambitious. And this is what I'm talking about. Honestly, where are you going to be? Endurance. Sometimes I go to schools because I do so many times, and the only thing that you hear students saying, here you cannot survive. You cannot survive here, Mwalimu. Things are not very hard. This English teacher, this physics teacher, and anyway, you have to endure. Whether you have been asked to wake up early because you know where you are going, and there is no road. Even look at the roads that we have in Kenya. Is there one road that you never get a pothole? There is no one. But you have to endure. Sometimes it's about working even more hours, and you have to be there. If at the end of the day, you have to see a good product that you are looking forward to. Issues of courage. Sometimes, let me tell you something. When I was in school, and I'm happy that in your schools, this is not there, I went into a mixed school that was very good. But by then, those years that we used to be there, although I'll be talking about this, the sciences were seen to be male-oriented, near wanaume, near boys. And because I was really quite in it and I really loved physics especially, I had to have the courage of believing whether the person seated next to me is not good in sciences, whether the person next seated to me does not work hard in physics, I have the courage to do what the others cannot do. The issue, again, I've talked about making rational decisions. Rational decisions, we also call them informed decisions. There's no way, again, you are going to sleep at 7 o'clock and tomorrow you're still saying that it will work out. No, you have to make rational decisions, and even about what you are looking forward to. Look at this kind of a scenario that maybe you do not, and maybe I can even give you this example. A friend of mine did this. She wanted to be actually, she was admitted to be a doctor. And now, it gets to a point that they have to learn, those parts of the bodies you guys, you talk about, the heart, the what, you understand, the internal parts of the body. And how do they do it? They cannot come and now operate a person who is walking. You understand what I mean? And so when the person was taken to the table where there was a body, in where they were supposed to have operated, the guy fainted. And fainted several times. And so the guy looked at things and said, honestly, how am I going to operate on this if all the time I see the dead body and then I'm fainting? And this is what we are talking about, the rational decisions. Are you good to what you are talking about? For example, for me, I've told you I'm all over. I like being out there. How do you again put me in an office? I don't see myself like that. And therefore, also you have to think about the human dignity. Do you respect people? And also something else also we'll be talking about here is about academic planning. How have you planned for your future? Having said that, then the next question that would come to our mind, then what is this that Dr. Mary is talking about, a career? Number one, you have to think that a career is a job or a profession that start from birth actually to your grave. That whatever you take, it will be it defines you from the time you are born to the time you go to the grave. It is a job, it's a profession, and it gives you an opportunity to progress. For example, like now, whatever I become, whether I be who or wherever I'll be, number one, my career is that I am a teacher. And being a teacher now gives me other opportunities in line of being a teacher. The reason why today I am talking about the career guidance is because I am a teacher and therefore I qualify to give this kind of a talk in career. Therefore, it is so important that to understand whatever you choose, and I think that one should be quite well emphasized, whatever you choose, you remain. And therefore the question is, are you ready to work with what you are going to do, to choose from now till you go to your graves, like that guy who would see the dead body and faint? How many times are you willing to faint? Or are you willing to take a course that will help you be jubilant, be happy, like I am today? That when called upon, you can always do what you need to do, even without a pay. Very important. Then the next thing that we are also saying, that, you know, today somebody said something that was very sweet about the career. And he said, the reason why we say it starts from birth to death is that in psychology, they believe that if you give someone a child, by 6 years, he can define what that child will be. Okay, by 6 years. You'll be able to tell, is this child going to be a pastor? Is the child going to be a banker? Is the child going to be a thief? What kind of a child are you going to bring up? And we have the capability. And therefore, that is why we said that it is so important, even for those people who take care of our children when they are growing up. But here we are. Then we are saying, in short, a career is a very important thing to you because it constitutes your purpose in life. It constitutes your purpose. And by the way, when you choose a career, and today it was alluded to, is that you have to think about the career, as I have said, that you have interest and you are proud about it. You are proud. Such that when you are gathered and you are so many, are you afraid to say you are a teacher? In the presence of maybe those who are taking medicine, in the presence of those who are doing other things, are you afraid? So you have to choose a career that you are proud about, that you can confidently say, this is who I am and this is what I like. It's a process of self-discovery, self-expression, okay? Self-discovery. You get to know, hiya, Mary, you can do so well in careers that you need to talk. Mary, you can do so well in career that calls people to be together. And then we are also saying, career defines your lifestyle. Your lifestyle that you're going to live. Today, the same was alluded, and I would like to share what that person said. For example, I am a teacher. Because I'm a lecturer anyway, I started by being a teacher. And because it defines my lifestyle, I have to think about how I am dressing. I have to dress up here. I have to dress, you know, so that when people see me, they can say that that is a teacher. I have to think about how I walk. I have to think how I talk, because I have to talk like a teacher. Sometimes you have heard people talk about guy. Huyo ni mchungaji kweli? Is that a pastor? And why do they say so? Sometimes because of how they are dressed, sometimes because of how they talk, sometimes they have about how they walk. And one of the things that I always challenge my students, even when they are choosing careers, is to ask themselves, have you ever bothered to see how those people who are in your career look like, or how they talk, or how they dress? Can I tell you something? And this should not annoy you, or it should not actually throw you off guard. I had thought of one time being a nurse. And I mean, I love being nursing. I love all the careers anyway, depending on the interest that you have and whether you love it. But I came to realize nurses have to be in their uniforms throughout. And because I had been in uniforms for so long, I never wanted to look back and think of wearing a uniform again. Then I said, this is not my thing, because of actually the whole thing about how they dress. So we have to think about huge things, including how they dress and what they do. The next thing, we say your career should answer the following questions. There are a few questions that you should think about your career. Number one, whom am I? And when I talk about whom am I, the things I'm, sorry. Oh my God. The things that I'm thinking about, whom am I, I'm asking myself, what are my interests? Sorry, trying to get the slide. What are my interests? Who is Mary? Who do you like? Mary, you know, what are your ambitions, like the way we said? Then when I know who am I, in terms of analyzing myself, in terms of my awareness, in terms of asking myself, when do I get happy? What is this thing that I can do that makes me feel okay, that I can wake up in the morning, I can wake up in the night and do? Then I ask myself, what am I capable of doing? Am I capable of waking up? If, for example, if I want to be a doctor, am I capable of being on call throughout? That I can be called anytime and I'm available? Am I that person? What do I want to become in life? Okay. Then once you ask yourself, and I have said that you can actually get to ask yourself, what are my interests? What is this thing I can do without being paid? What this thing I can do, and I'm very, very proud about it. Okay. Then, having said that, we can also ask ourselves a few things. Why do you need a career? Why do you need it? Number one, you need a career to earn a living. And I have said, and somebody alluded to this today, that today is what date? It is 26. We have started looking at the bank to see what is there, whether they have thrown in something. Therefore, the kind of career you chose, it has to give you a living. Fulfill a demand for a skilled labor. That because you have been trained, it should be able to meet this demand, okay, for the person who is supposed to work there. For example, for a teacher, I have to have the skills that are required so that I can teach. It also enhances your skills. For example, I have told you, I have been teaching for many years. Now I'm very, very good at it. The person who was talking today said that you have to master what you do. You have to master. And he said, if you have been teaching for some time and still you are not able to master what you teach, then there's a problem. Therefore, when you talk about a career, it helps you to enhance your skill. Propagate your knowledge is almost the same thing. To create wealth. Yeah, to create wealth, you need to create wealth. You have to move from those things that we keep on talking about. We are living in poverty. And then through your career, we should see you move. We should see you move vertically in terms of your wealth. Keep fit and health. It should help you to keep fit. And this is why I said at the beginning, if you think that you're going to do a career that is not right, I'm telling you, if there's anything stressful in this world, is to do what you don't like. Ati unaamka asubuhi, you are going to do what you hate most. Because what happens is that whatever comes to your heart, because you don't even want to wake up and face what you are going to do, it will also affect your mental. And therefore, you will not even be helpful when you have mental issues. Make personal contribution to the society. And this is key. For example, now, what am I doing? You can imagine how many you are here. And this thing is being recorded. So it will be shared to many other more. So I'm making a contribution to help you shape up your life. Therefore, when you take up a career, you have to ask yourself, how will I be contributing to the society? Then fulfill your purpose in life. I've just said, I've been looking forward. Can I tell you a bit of my life? When I actually graduated with my first degree, my whole village, of course, the way it is like, they came, you see, and you know, I have said I'm a person who is out there, and you can imagine the excitement that was there when I saw the whole village coming. When I did my master's, my friend, my mom also looking, you know, she looked 20 years younger. And that was like, I have always been looking forward to make my mom happy as much as I make myself happy. You can imagine what happened when I got my PhD. And now growing, becoming senior and so forth, fulfilling my purpose in life. I cannot wait to grow in this career, and one day I'll be a vice chancellor of a university, because that is what career is. But again, if you are in the wrong career, and we are going to discuss this, I'm liking that we have so many speakers, and therefore I'm not even going to take a lot of time. If you are in the wrong career, you are not likely to work hard towards, okay, towards what, towards getting into your fulfillment. You'll always be looking for other ways to change your career. Then the next thing, number B, I think, sorry, I get here. Oh, I think it should be the next one. Sorry, it happens. We start on this. How do we focus on our career now? How do we focus? Yeah, now that we have discussed this about what do you need, then we are talking about focusing on career goals. What is this thing that you need to do? Now that we have said, and I know as we are carrying on, you are still thinking about, okay, she has talked about that she's so talkative, and now she ended up in this. She has talked about the interest. She has talked about self-fulfillment. She has talked about what is it that she can do even without being paid. And you're asking yourself as we carry on, what is it that I can also do? And focusing on career goals, we're asking ourselves, the biggest challenge is to stay focused, And one of the things to keep you making focused again is because, I repeat, you are doing what makes you happy. You are doing what you can wake up and you are excited about. And we are saying it has, it's to have the discipline where there are so many competing things. You will have so many distractions, I can tell you. You'll have your friends telling you that thing cannot work. They'll tell you my uncle wanted to be this and they failed. You'll have so many other distractions in your life. You'll have, maybe sometimes we come from families that are not very well put together. They are fighting all the time. There are many things that can come up in our lives. But one of the things is to remain focused. When you exactly know what you want to do, challenges will come on the way. People will ask you, honestly, DJs are paying very well. What is it that you are doing with the teaching? Honestly, engineers are here. They are doing very well. What are you doing with teaching? And then the engineers will be told, what are you still doing as an engineer? Why can't you go for a lazy life? And all those competing things will come on our ways. But the only thing to do is to remain focused. I told you about that my name is Chui, and I said, a predator, but anyway, I am not hungry, so I'm not going to cause harm to anyone. But what we are saying that just as a predator is focused on its prey, regardless of its strength, regardless of the strength of the prey and the height, so should we be focused on our career goals, regardless of whether the path is easy or challenging. We'll be discussing this and you'll come to know that there is no career or there is no choice that doesn't have its own challenges. It is own challenges. And the only thing it is that whether it is a challenging, and the challenging, what are we talking about challenges? Whichever career is, maybe when it comes to engineering can be difficult, maybe because I am not well oriented in that, or that is not my interest. And to an engineer, teaching can also be very difficult because that is not where their focus is. But when you are focused on what you want to do, then the challenges become lesser, and then you can be able to solve them. Then show how you focus on your choice and dreams. Okay, you have to think on how you are focusing on your dreams, and this can be very, very exciting. The next thing, have a specific goal. This one we have already talked about. And when you have your goal, know exactly what you want to do in the future, then it reduces distraction and confusion. The next thing that we have to think about, visualize your goals. You see, when you have to, and this is normal anyway to all of us, even when you want to wear your clothes, sometimes you have to ask yourself, na nikivaa hii nitakaa aje? Nitakaa aje? Nikienda ninunue hizo viatu, nitakuwa nimekaa aje? And what happens even before you do that? You have to look at people who are wearing the same clothes that you want to go buy. You have to look at people who are wearing the same shoes like you are doing. And therefore, when it comes to your career, and for example, like now for me being a teacher, do you see yourself facing a class and doing what you need to do? I can tell you something. When I was doing my master's, actually, I remember I used to ask myself, when will I ever be a doctor so that I can do what I need to do? I did mine at Kenyatta University. And sometimes when the teacher would be late, this lecturer would be late, I would stand there and say, will I ever see myself one time just doing this? And actually, can I be honest with you? The very place at that Kenyatta University where that teacher used to sit, to stand, and he used to teach us a unit. You'll come to learn it when you come to the university, educational management and administration. I stood there years, but many years after, and I did the same thing. So the question is this: who will you be 10 years from now? Who will you be? A huge question, by the way. A question that needs reflection. Who will you be? Where will I be? Utakuwa wapi? Where will you be? Another question that I like especially see, who will be with me? Who will be with you? Because the people who will be with you are those ones that you are going to associate with. You know, I always tell the students, the people you associate with, okay, even in terms of choosing your career, if you're not very careful to choose what you want, is that after 5 years, you'll be living their lives. You'll be like them. I know of a girl, and I was trying to talk to her the other day. And this girl was a good girl. Then she started having this kind of, oh, madam, you know, there's this modeling that is going on. But I could ask her, let me go to your Facebook and we see who you are relating with. And then she could tell you, of course, she calls me mom. She'd say, mom, but you can see these guys are earning a lot of money. With the time, she lost her morality. The other day, I saw her dancing nude in FB, dancing nude. Because now you keep on seeing your friends do the same things, and now you lose a sense of you know, a sense of value, a sense of morals. And therefore, if you associate with yourself with the people who want to be, you know, whoever they want to be, then that's what you become. And that's what I am asking you. Who will you be with? I like this other question. Where will you be living? Unataka uwe unakaa wapi? Remember, we talked about that you have to be realistic. You have to make decisions that are informed. Where will you be living? And we have all these places in Kenya anyway, and out of Kenya. So whatever you choose, we don't definitely also choose where you'll be living. So, about you, do you like where people are living, or would you like to change? Another thing, where will you be going for holidays? Kama unataka kuwa unaenda bypass, you also know that is okay. You have the career that will take you there. Then what type of a car will you be driving? Very important. And I can tell you these things, I used to have them clearly in my mind. Thank God, around Form 2, I got this talk. And we were asked the same kind of questions. And actually, I wrote them down the way the Bible talks about, you write them in capital letters. And today I'm living my life, the one that I had visualized, okay? And it is so important for you actually to write those things down. But again, we said you have to actualize them. You have to work towards them. Then how much will you be earning? That's also important. Sometimes for those maybe who are teachers, they always say they are never paid. But I am a teacher, but there is this opportunity. Because we said a career gives you opportunities. Even in the area that you are in, you'll be given responsibilities that you'll be paid for. So don't just go there and say, for example, engineers are paid this. But there are opportunities again that will help you to even earn what you are thinking of earning. The next thing, I hope, please you alert me if I take a lot of time. We have talked about, then the next thing is that be determined. We have talked about being determined. Challenges will be there on your path. Challenges and many, of course. Your teacher will be asking you, we are to finish the syllabus. You have to be here. There are those friends who will be telling you, you have not taken the right thing. Challenges will be there. But how determined are you? Quickly, we move on to the next thing so that we can move to the mates. Then the next thing is about value yourself. Oh my God, I want to clap for this, valuing yourself. Sometimes we are there and good, value yourself. This is your sense of personal worth. Are you worth anything? Do you see yourself any important? Or you look at yourself unasema, oh, hiyo si unanijuanga tu. Hizo mavitu siwezani. Alafu nauliza na mathematics, hiyo hata ndio ni drop kwanza. Kiingereza hata sijui. Alafu those things that you know, sinajuanga sisi tumetoka from, you know, we give ourselves reasons that are not here or there. Value yourself. Know you are important. Be convinced of your ability to achieve your career goals. As I said, I was so convinced, and even now I'm very convinced of being a vice chancellor of one of these universities. Because we say people with low self-esteem, what waoyesa zote, hata wanabo, you know, you don't even want to be next to them because they spread very negative energy, negative vibes all the time. But the thing is this, when you have very good self-esteem, ninaweza, I know, you focus higher. But when you have a low self-esteem, because maybe somebody alikwambia you don't walk nicely or you are not good in this, just know you are okay. You are good. And you can be able actually to be motivated and get the confidence that you need to achieve whatever you want to achieve. God created us for a purpose. That's good. And it is just upon us to use the due diligence and hard work to be whatever we want to be. Already you are well. You are equipped with whatever you want to be. And that's what is most important. That the next one is that have a good mentor. I am very, very happy, Ben, that you are here. And the other presenters and all of us, we are here as mentors. You can never move far, beyond your mentor, because your mentor will have stepped wherever you want to go. Identify a mentor in the area you want to be. If you want to be a motivator like I am, then come to me, because I also have another one who is my mentor. And this is what we do. We admire good mentors. So because they will influence you positively towards where you are going. But again, you cannot say that, oh my God, I want to be so and so, and even don't have even a single person. I wish it were possible that, for example, I ask you, whom do you want to be? Then I ask you the next question. Have you ever tried even to get somebody in the line you want to be so that you can be as good as they are? Because there's no way you're going to tell me, I want to be a nurse, and you don't even know a single nurse in this country. I want to be a teacher, you don't even know any teacher around. I want to be an engineer, you don't even know who is an engineer in this country. You don't even know anything about them. You have to get a mentor, and we are here for you. Because there will be a source of inspiration. They'll tell you about the opportunities that they are there. They'll tell you about the challenges they face and how you can overcome them. But please, you have to go to look for a good mentor. And here we are with Ben. Ben is a very, very good mentor, and I know we can go far with him. The next thing, think positively. Even in our places of work, I can tell you the truth. There are people who are very negative. Hakuna kitu wanaonanga ikifanya kazi. Ati unaongelelea nini? Oh, that one. They're even negative. They make you tired even before you start even doing whatever it is. You are in form 2 and the person is telling you, goja uingie form 3. Goja uingie form 4. Wachana na huyo mwalimu wa mathematics. Hata wewe unaonakaje? It's like anakujanga class ni kama wamekuoro at home. You never think positively about anything. And I am telling you, avoid prophets of doom who thrive in discouraging others. If you are in a group, if you are friends, honestly, all the time they do is to discourage you, then you are in the wrong company. You are in the wrong company. Think through. How many times do they discourage you from doing your homework? How many times do they discourage you in doing what you need to do? And how many times? And then you tell yourself, these are not the friends to have. Anybody who discourages you, just know they are not good for your life. Steps of choosing a career. I'll just talk about this, and then I'll talk about the base. Then the rest of the things I'll leave for the others to talk about this. Steps in choosing a career. I am not a product of my circumstances. I am not a product of my circumstances, because we like actually thriving on it. And please, if it becomes noisy, let me know. I am not a product of my circumstances. I'm not a product because of my mother is a single mother, ati sasa kunaendanga nini, or my father beats my mom, or there are problems there, or there are what, all those animals that come our way. No, you are not. I am a product of my decisions. You are a product of your decisions. Whatever you decide on, that's what you become. Wacha kuwekelea wengine. Venye tunapendanga tu kuprojectia. Unajua madam, shida yangu ni, madam, shida yangu ni. No, kindly, it is about you. To make a good career choice, start with yourself. You need to consider your interests. As I said, what are your interests? What are your abilities? What is it that you can do? What is it that you can do best? Can you talk to people? If you cannot talk to people, then forget about those careers that call for you to be in the front office. Okay? Do you like smiling? If you cannot also be a person who can smile, forget about marketing. If you're a person who cannot face, like we are talking, if you're a person who even fears literal rivers there to cross and what, stop being, a soldier in this country, or rather, okay? Stop being a KDF. because you have to think through what is it. I have told you, if you're not a person who can be woken up anytime, then don't be a doctor, because the doctors have to be there on call. Then your prevalences, as we have talked about, and you have to make these career choices accordingly. As you begin to explore your career options, consider the following resources and strategies. Ask the librarian about the school career office. Ask them. And I am happy that today we are here with Ben. And Ben is able to bring so many people on board to tell you what is there, the resources that you can be able to get. Go to the library, ask about where do you keep those books that talk about teachers. They'll tell you the personality of a teacher. Read about the personality of a teacher. And if you are you know that when you are a teacher, you cannot even be all over. You cannot even be at your shopping center being idle there, because people will ask what a teacher is doing. Then forget about it. Look for something else. Then join a club. Like I am so happy Ben has talked about it, has alluded to it. Join a club that is in line with what you need to do. For example, if you want to be an environmentalist, what are you doing if you have already not joined a club that is in line with that? Okay. Then visit a place where people do the kind of work that you're interested in. Yeah. And I know through the club that Ben is talking about, he can facilitate this through your school, of course, so that if you want to be a pilot, where can you be taken to a school, and then they can take you through this and tell you what is required. Okay, like now on 10th, we are bringing in, I have told you that I am having a club that I have taken care of. I've been so much involved in research, and on 10th we are bringing students from the Maland, especially Kajiado and Narok, to Mount Kenya University and also to Kenyatta University, just for them to see what we do and how our university looks like. This is the challenge that we are talking about. Also, read out. For example, if I can ask you, maybe you are telling me, oh, I want to be a politician and also aligned into this line. Do you even know who, what specialization our deputy president is specialized in? Do you know, for example, the CS, Makoha, Honorable Makoha, what he's specialized in and what he has gone through? You have to ask yourself those questions. Read through what kind of subject do they take? Because sometimes we just say, I want to be a CS. Do you know their route? Do their route that they took through? Then try a hobby or volunteer in the work that you want to do. I can tell you in 2002, I was still not quite grown up, but there. And in our place, there were these, okay, let's not get that line, but there were those who are disadvantaged in some ways. Maybe I don't want to go to the details. And what did I do? I volunteered for a whole year, because we were in long holiday in the university, and I used to go there and teach for free. I remember it was one time that the volunteers were given a blanket, and I was not even near. So those were there, there was the scramble for the same. I was never paid a coin. Volunteer and feel, are you feeling okay when you are volunteering? Unasikia aje? And then I have talked about, you have to have the groups that do the same. Questions to ask yourself. What careers are likely to provide me with short-term and long-term satisfaction? Because this satisfaction, wacha nikwambie, I know there was a unit I did not like sometime, and then I may not tell you which one it is, but it is in the university, not now, because I don't want to make your life hard. You come and you decide not to do it because Chui doesn't like it. And I was asked to teach that unit one semester. I would wake up and think that I'm going to teach that unit. Yes, I have the content, but I would feel very discouraged. So we are talking about what kind of satisfaction are you looking forward to? Are there careers that seem to reflect my interests? And of course, these are the questions I believe Ben will be asking as we carry on, so that they can write down somewhere what are their interests and what kind of jobs are they likely to do, so that they can even rank them. For example, I want to be a teacher. What makes you think that you can be a teacher? I want to be a doctor. What makes you think that you can be a doctor? Because we cannot just be talking about this and we don't understand our interests and our abilities. And when I talk about our abilities, we're asking ourselves, what calls, and I know somebody will be presenting this, what are the clusters that calls for one to be a doctor? So that you just don't say, I want to be a doctor, like we used to say when we were in primary school, I want to be a doctor, and you have no clue that maybe you cannot do this if you're not good in biology. You have already dropped your biology and you want to be a doctor. Those are the facts. Then what is the future of the career that I'm considering? Let me tell you about this when you think about the future. Like now, there was a time that being a secretary, the typist, let me be very specific, being a typist used to be the in thing, not the secretary, but I have said a typist. It used to be an in thing. These days, things are changing because now, like yesterday, I was in a meeting. You don't even have somebody to take notes. You just need to press a button and the machines, the technology just takes notes for you. So you have to ask yourself, in terms of growth, hii career yako itakaa mpaka when? Itakaa mpaka when? Then the other thing, am I willing to get education background and training to get in the career? Of course, you have to ask that. What are the positive and negative factors associated with each career that I'm considering? For example, I don't know. I wish it were possible. I ask you, what are the possible things that you think are positive about a teacher? About maybe you can tell me a teacher is known by everyone. A teacher, you know, a teacher is a bit free, has some few hours. A teacher actually talks to a bigger group there and is able to tailor their life into the future. You can tell me. But if I come to your school and I ask you, what is this that you don't like about a teacher? I know you can give me a list of things, a list maybe of things that you, unless maybe you have the interest. So ask yourself, what is this that will be positive and what will be not be there? Are you able to handle it? Okay. Because for example, as a teacher, as I said, you know, hautakuwa unakaa kwa mtaa, hautakuwa una dress just the way you want. You have to dress, talk, and do like a teacher. And we know that a teacher, if it's ladies, you have to cover yourself very nicely. You are not going to exaggerate things. Are you ready to do that? When you know, for example, also when you're an artist, you know most of the photos that we find in our FBs are those for artists who are all over there, and maybe those are the guys who are who are known. Are you looking at these things and saying, mimi yangu ni hii? Are you there and knowing that this is the line that you are going to follow? The other thing, increasingly demand for specialization. It is important that you ask yourself that some jobs will decline with time, and I have already alluded to this about the secretariat. You think about it. Then, even when you choose about your career, which I know somebody will be talking about, and I hope, Ben, this is true, that there's somebody who will be looking about the clusters, because I don't want to get into the clusters, although I have some notes, I'll throw them to you. But then we are talking about that there are some skills that are needed. Honestly, there's the common courses, the common cluster that you are normally given. For example, the English, the languages, the mathematics. Try a bit, my sweethearts. Try a bit, okay? Be there with your English. Be there with your Swahili. Oh, honestly, do something about them, okay? So that you can see, at least, the English, the basic mathematics, the numeracy. Okay, we are not saying that maybe you become the expert in this, but at least let's see that at least you can do. Hakuna career utaenda yenye haina hesabu. Hata mimi nikiwa mwalimu, although I teach English, definitely I normally try to add the scores. I have to add your scores. I have to know how many you are in class. Oh, of course, there are those mathematics subjects that you have to have. You understand. I have to calculate my time and know where we are. Then computer literacy these days. I am happy we are at a place where you guys, you are so good at it. There's nowhere, like now, look at where we are. Where are we now? Online. Hautakuja useme ati hii kitu. No, so those are just basics. Then intelligence, about the self-confidence I talked about. Willingness to accept responsibility. Today somebody said that you hauwezi kuwa unakataa responsibility all the time and you think you are going anywhere. You cannot be saying that you want to be a president. Na ukiambiwa hata ukue class rep unakataa. Oh, we call them class prefect. Ukiambiwa hata ukue class prefect unakataa. You're not going to be in a career where maybe, because you have to take responsibility. How do you know that you can be obedient unless you can be able to sweep your class when you have been asked to do that? So this thing of all the time refusing responsibility, just know you are going nowhere because you have to start training early. So how do you do this? If you want to be a teacher, and this is what I used to do. When we are asked to do the presentation, I'm there doing the presentation very fast so that I learn how to speak to other people. So you have to take the responsibility so that you are well trained to what you are going to do. I don't want to talk about a lot of things. Innovation, you have to ask yourself, can I bring something new? Okay, can I bring something new? Are you able to see this? You also have to talk about interpersonal skills. How do you live with the people? Because hautaenda kukaa huko peke yako, and there are some people who lose their jobs because they cannot live with others. How do you relate? Ama wewe ni mtu yule wa klasa zote unapelekangwa tu because you are fighting, you have done what, you cannot live with anyone. So you have to have the interpersonal skills, and this is a requirement internationally. Then you have also to have ability to handle conflict. Are you able to handle conflict? Even mwalimu peke yake tu, you have to know how to handle conflict in your class. Even when you become whoever you become, whether a doctor or what, you have to know how to handle conflict. Are you honest? Are you honest? Unless you are planning to be a thief. Okay? If you're planning to be a thief, then you don't have to be honest. But even them, they're also honest to some extent. They agree on how they are going to steal. Yeah, you have to have persuasiveness, a way of just doing this. Maybe I move a little faster. And I have said this one, please alert me, Ben, when my time is almost. Your career choice is an individual choice. It is yours alone. Hey, before you just get it is you. Ni wewe utasafiri you know that road. It is yours. Si ya huyo mwenye mnaketi na yeye. Unaona hapo Thome Boys, huyo mwenye amepita hapo. It is not about, it is about you. So you it is about you who is seated in front. It's about you who is seated at the back. Your career is yours and yours alone. Okay, the same case with our Mary Hill and the others who are present. But other people can be of great help. I have said how my mother contributed to my career. They could include your teachers, they could include Ben, they could include those people in the field that you are in and those you admire. Okay. Then the next thing, I was asked to these questions, Ben, about the cut points. I may not want to discuss about that. I hope somebody will discuss that. But when we talk about these are the frequently asked questions about careers in Kenya. What is the cutoff point in the admission? And this one is the lowest mark that you can get so that you can be admitted. Sometimes the government will always lead us on what we need. The next one, can I get the, and this was alluded by Ben, can I get a university education if I don't meet the Kenyan University and College Central Placement Services cut point? Yes, and especially if you have a C+ and above in most of these ones, then you can always go to the university in self-sponsored program. Then there was also about, if supposing you get a lesser than C, this was alluded by Ben. That Ben can always show you how do you get to the certificate, how do you get to the diploma, how do you climb up. And we have people who does that. But I believe that we are going to work hard so that we don't have to pass through that route. Okay. Then the next thing is about, I don't want to talk about bridging. Ben, maybe you can pick some of these things and the booster subjects, and then maybe we can talk about them later. I want to quickly get to what you asked me to talk about. Because I have talked about when choosing a career, am I supposed to base it on my interest? We have already talked about that. And then all the time, remember your interest comes first. Although you can tailor yourself and try to see what else you can be able to do, then it's always important that you, you try to align it to your interest. I don't want to talk about, I want to go to where we have the, allow me to, the maids. I want to go to the maids. Maids number 3, maids. This is where I want to settle on as I almost come to my end of the presentation. That false beliefs on career you should ignore. What should you ignore? It is never too late to be what you might have been. Just understand, yes, we are saying that you should have had what you need to do from the beginning. But again, we are saying, even now, because you are no longer 6-year-old, you are in whichever level you are, we can still choose. We are still at a level we can be able to choose what we want to be. Then, myth number 1, some jobs make people rich and others make people poor. And this is true, people talk about it. Wewe unafanyanga gani? Aki, you'll be so poor in that one. I never see anybody who gets any money out of it. That is a myth. Hiyo ni uongo. As long as you are good at it, there are so many opportunities. And this is what we talked about the career.
that the career will give you opportunities within your career. Look at a person who is good at marathon, mwenye anakimbianga. We know they run and there are so many. But the person who is good at it in this country, we know they are very rich. Look at a teacher. Sometimes people may say that it's about teachers are never paid anything. A teacher who is so good at what they do, they also do very, very well because there are so many opportunities. So what we are simply saying, as long as you are talented, and you do what you like most, and you have the abilities, opportunities are so many, and there's no career that is superior than the other. It's only when we are growing up to those other needs. But when you are good at what you do, the best, always the best, will have opportunities. The other one, there are men jobs and women jobs. This is nonsense. This is what used to happen when we were growing up, okay? And I have said it's nonsense. When we were growing up, our parents used to tell us, ati wewe utakuwa secretary, wewe usijali, wewe fanya hii. You know, they would tell us the jobs, where Mary, you cannot be an engineer. Engineering is for men. You cannot be, you cannot be a soldier. You cannot be a what? You cannot, you know. And they used to let us think that even in the medical world, that the doctor is a male and then the nurse is a female. And even in our books that we used to be given, please let me know if it gets noisy. And even the books that we used to be given, we would see a doctor amechorwa vizuri, amehang tu kakitu hapa, and the nurse na kakofia na ka uniform amembebea vitu. So we grew knowing that there's those kind of careers that are for men. And those, but my friend, the world has changed. Now we are dealing with the gender responsive careers, gender responsive. And when we talk about gender responsive, we are saying that careers now are responsive to women. Like I can tell you the truth. My first-born girl is taking law. My second-born girl is taking engineering. I am a teacher, and we have an accountant in the house. And I'm yet to see what my young girl will be like. So ni nini hii unaambiwa ati nini ati usijali, you know, that's nonsense. Okay. The second thing, the other thing is that some careers run in the families and there is nothing you can do about it. Oh my God. I wish my mother had given birth to so many children. We are 10 in the family. And there's no one that shares a career. My father was a bishop. I think there's no bishop in our family. But we are very godly though. We are very, very godly. But I can assure you, these are just mates. The only thing that happens is because you hear your parents talk about it. Maybe we need to admit some people who need to be admitted in then. So, but then, because there are these people, because we keep on hearing the same things over and over again from our parents. Apana, mimi am an engineer and I know engineering pays. I would like you to be engineers. No, mimi I'm, you know, no. We are so unique in our way, in our ways, and therefore it depends on your interest, and you hardly share interest. The other one, my parents know the career that is best for me. They can advise, but it's not always, but they can advise. Like my mother advised me. But did my mother advise me to be a teacher? No. She just said that you are very gifted in talking. In fact, sometimes she tells me you can even now, and she's 85 years old. When I go home, like I was home the other day, she was still telling me, with this talking of yours, you can still do very well in marketing. You can do very well, you know, in those kind of jobs. So they can tell you, they can help you to identify your abilities, but they might not know what is good for you. Sometimes the parents could be there, and what they want us to do is to live what they never lived. And it is good when you are clear on what you want to do, somebody will not confuse you. Maybe your mother wanted to be a pilot, and you are there telling your mother, I want to be a teacher. So what do? They start telling you, no, there's nothing that you can be. No, you have to be a pilot. If you have to live in this house, you have to be a pilot. And we have seen some students who have actually gone to the university and they have pursued the career their mothers or their fathers told them. And then they realized this was not my path. Like the doctor I was telling you about, who could not stand a dead body, and that's what they're supposed to deal with all the time. And they go back. Like my friend went back and did actually economics, and now he's doing very well in business. The other one, you can make more money as a lawyer, doctor, architect, anyway, than other jobs. I have just told you, and I have alluded to this. That wacha mtu asikuambie, As I have said, you just have to be good. You just have to be good in what you do. It doesn't matter. You can be an architecture, but you cannot even fix anything, or you are not vibrant about it. So kazi yako ni ile mshahara tu ya ile kidogo tu unapata. You can be somebody else that, those courses that you may think that they are not important, but you find that because you have a lot of knowledge about it and opportunities and the gap, like you can see now, like Ben said he was a teacher. He has been able to identify that there's this gap about the training. And what has he done? He has come up with a whole thing, a whole kind of thing that is related to education, and it can give him opportunities that you can never ever think in this world. Okay. Then the next thing, as I finish, Ben, today I may not talk about the clusters. I hope somebody else will talk about that. The next thing is that teaching and nursing are not good as other careers. I have already alluded to this. Lakini si tunajua hata Mwalimu Nyerere alikuwa nani mwalimu, and we can still come up with so many others. I'm not trying here to market for teachers. I am talking about that there is no career that is lesser than any other. Going into the entertainment industry is a waste of time. No, this is a good thing. But what I always worry about, and this one I want to be very honest about this, is that you also don't want a mediocre who is just rapping there and they have no sense of direction. And this is what we are saying, that it has to be a career. You have to have gone to school. You have to be trained well. Go to the university. Get what is required. I also don't want to go to to listen to a DJ, a DJ who is just these dropouts that you cannot even interact with. So I also mind when the learners or when the students say, I have composed 10 songs already. Can I continue on? Can I drop out of school? No. Who wants to deal with somebody who cannot listen, who cannot even tell why that song was there? So go to school first. And once you go to the university, now enroll in that line that requires you to take this kind of industry, so that you can be the best of the best of the best. Otherwise, utakuwa tu bure bure hapa. Hakuna kitu unafanya, kurukaruka tu, and you are having nothing, rapping things that nobody can even understand. Then the other thing is that higher education and career training are useless nowadays. Nasikianga watu wakisema si hata kama uwa kwetu walitrainiwa ameenda university na bado wako tu umuhumu tu. Another one says, oh what? But I'm telling you this, even without necessarily talking about too many things. Your career is like a bridge. Your career, even if you have not found a job today, or that person who has not found a job today, that career is like your bridge. And when the rains will come, it's only the person who will have the bridge that will be able to get to the other side. And I always say, if today I have a job, like now Ben had this kind of opportunity for us. Hakuenda kuita mtu mwenye hajafanya hizi vitu, ati akasema because there are no jobs, you can quickly come and we do it, even if you don't have any qualification. No, you must be having the qualification, because there's no advert that you're likely to get that does not ask for qualification. Myth number 9, some courses are merely for filling up vacancies and not for marketable at all. As I have alluded to earlier, hakuna, or whatever you do is marketable, because what we normally do in the university, and even at the level you are at, there's somebody who did a research to see that there are gaps that needs your skill. Imagine, mtu alitumia pesa zake nyingi na akaita watu wamesoma, so that they can identify something you can do. So always know, even in the class that you are in, somebody did a research and they know that there's something that requires you to do and requires your skills. Myth number 10, getting to a business is better than pursuing a career. Let me tell you something. Hakuna kitu mbaya kama kudiru na mtu wa business mwenye ni mjinga, hajaenda shuleni. Have you ever tried to reason with somebody mwenye hajaenda shuleni alafu anataka kuongezewa mshahara? Do you know that they can go for but imagine this person who is so well educated, has done something, has been beefed up with the skills, knows where to get things, and knows how to do those mathematics. I am telling you, and I want to allude to this, and I know everybody will maybe come and support this. One can be having a lot of money in this world, but when it comes to talk and you ask somebody, by the way, umefikisha wapi masomo, ulisomea wapi? They don't even want to hear anybody who has gone to school, because when you are not well schooled, when you are not well equipped in your skills, you become what we call a social misfit. Utakuwa unashindwa kuongea. I want to be proud a bit about this, that anytime I go to a place and I say I'm a doctor, then you find that hata kaheshima kameenda juu. Lakini sijaiona mtu ameenda kwa meeting amesema, by the way, I'm calling millions in my car. I have never seen that. I have never. Sijawahi sikia mtu anasema ati by the way, unajua nimeweka milioni 5 pale kwa gari. But here I come and I say I'm a doctor, and the respect is given. So even if you want to fall into business and you do business, then you have to be well equipped in what you do. You don't want to be just selling things that you cannot understand. A graduate of certain universities are given priority during employment other than hapana. Hii risha. Hakuna kitu kama hii. Though because you are from the you know what we call the household universities that are known. Tukienda, no, it is about what have you brought on the table. What have you brought on the table? That is the most important thing. Nobody can cheat you. Nobody can cheat you. It's about what have you brought on the table. So even if you join whichever university, as long as you're able to work hard, ikifika wakati wa kuajiliwa, when it comes to getting yourself a job, it is about what have you brought on the table. And I told you a few things. Are you able to know your interest in what you have been able to do? Have you passed well in what you have been doing? Have you been participating in other things other than just being in books throughout? So what is it that you can be able to bring on the table? Okay? Mtu asikudanganye. Then the other thing, the government pays tuition fees for students in public and private universities. Now, pays tuition for students. It's not a myth though. This is true that the help these days, the government and also the help is able to cater for those now who are taking, whether in private and also in public. It is possible that you can actually be sponsored. But again, we are also saying that there are other students in private universities and also even in public universities, but they decide to take the mode of where they can be doing self-sponsoring. Okay? Maybe you don't want to go to the public university, you know, because of whatever reasons. Maybe you have looked at the, or maybe there's this university you have been admiring. But when you go there, the course that you wanted to do, you find that already the places for the government sponsored is full. It is possible still to get into those universities and you carry out what we talk about, self-sponsored. So that one is very possible. So as I finish and I call upon someone else now, I take this back. Turn your careers into reality. Turn your career goals into your reality. You only live once. But if you do it right, once is enough, you'll feel very good. Do it. We have talked about, be clear about what you are going to do. Then ask yourself so many questions. Is what I'm going to do going to bring me happiness and fulfillment? Very important for you to do. How do you do so? I have talked about turn your goals into habits. Like now, you know, you make it a habit. If, for example, as a teacher, I have made it a habit. Like even when I'm invited to do something as related to what I am good at, it doesn't bother me because it's something I enjoy. Okay. Then maybe I don't want to talk about this, Ben, and maybe because somebody else maybe will be talking about it. Maybe the only thing is that, of course, break your goals into smaller parts. Watch out the negative thoughts. We talked about it. Keep your mind open to changes. Today you may be looking forward to be a teacher. Then tomorrow you analyze yourself better and you see I can still do very well as a doctor. So those are some of the things that maybe you can be talking about. Time management. I know this one you have always been told about, that you have to know that time is money and you can always get yourself organized on the same. How about now, between now and when you get your admission to the university? Okay, you have to pick your hobbies very right. We have talked about that. You have to be registered. This one I know you have been told. You have to know which skills you are good at. You know, you can join a Rotary Club. You can be doing something when you are now done with the examination. That in between time, We are saying, do not just go and sit at home. There's something that actually you can be able to do. You do some voluntary work. Pick up a part-time job that is related to what you want to go and do in the university. Like I said, I was teaching for free. So have time with your family, okay? Eat healthy and be good in all things that you do. So I think now, Ben, there are other things that maybe we have here that maybe can be talked about the cluster that can actually bring this. I don't know whether I should stop at this where we are now connecting. What is it? How are they supposed to prepare themselves so that now they can join the university? Maybe Ben, I stop there for now. I still have more notes, maybe which I can share with you and share with the students so that you can welcome others to do what they need to do. Thank you very, very much. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Daktari. But maybe before you go off, Daktari, I would make this humble request. If you'd still talk about the cutoff and the clusters, I don't know whether you're in a position to do that. If it's possible, I would really appreciate. I can add you about 10 minutes for you to do that.
Oh, okay. Maybe for the clusters, maybe as I have talked about the kind of cutoff, maybe I move faster a bit. Okay. We have talked about this on how you need maybe to be careful about yourself. Maybe I mentioned to these guys because we have talked about time management as you wait. We have talked about the admissions, what you are supposed to be doing before you are admitted in the university, your emotional well-being. We know how the kids are having issues to do with mental and psychological issues. Please make sure that you are healthy by being very disciplined and doing what you need to do. The issue of even joining the church. The church is also very important for you. If you're Muslim, then you know what to do. Then I am being asked to talk about the careers, which are some of these clusters that we need. And we are saying, for example, if you want to take agriculture and related careers, these include careers related to plant and animal science. It also includes careers in crop and animal production, pests and diseases, and what, you know, there are all these careers that you can be involved in. For example, agro-business management, agrobio, you know, all these careers, they are there in the university. But one of the things that you have to know, there's no way, as I said, that you are going to take agriculture related careers if you dropped agriculture in Form 1. Okay? If you dropped agriculture in Form 1 and so forth. So you have to think about what are some of these careers. And maybe, Ben, the best thing that can be, although maybe we don't have time, the good thing is that I had already, I have some materials that maybe they can relate to, because this can be quite some things to talk about the careers in which they can be involved in, because there are many, as you can see, Ben, there are quite a number. But because I brought as requested, I came up with some I came up with some books that can help them on the areas that they can choose on what they need to do. Maybe we can discuss this some other times, because what I had just given is what we have, the engineer related careers in the university, what they can do if they are taking career related, but I had not planned for them on the cluster that they need to take, which maybe they may need to see and sit down and maybe discuss, or maybe we can share these materials with them. That is why I was saying maybe we stop at that very particular point, so that, because I had not brought the subjects together. But if maybe at the end you may want, I may come back, I may have organized something for them in terms of the subject clusters.
Okay, thank you so much, Daktari. Thank you so much. That was very informative. I have also learned something else that I didn't know, but thank you so much. That's all I can say for now. And I'm sure our students who are here with us, they are also learning a lot. So I don't know whether there's anyone with a question. So far, I haven't seen any question for Daktari, but in case you have a question, please, you'll still get the session, you get the time to ask your questions. So you can still reserve the question, and maybe this question will be asked later, and I'll answer them on behalf of the Daktari if she have left. So before I make my presentation, I want to request if there is a representative from ZTech University. I don't know whether he is still here or he has left. There's somebody who was sent by Wycliffe. Wycliffe sent an apology that he may not manage to join us, but he told me he could try and send a representative. If there is any representative from ZTech University, please. Okay, seems like there's none from ZTech University, but once they come on board, I'll give them the chance to do that. So Dr. Ali has talked so much. Maybe a quick review of some key points that I have taken from Dr. Ali that we as students, we need to undertake is number one, that career is all about choice. It is not a chance. I don't know whether you students have been able to note this, that career is a choice, it is not a chance. And anything that is a choice, meaning that it's something that you have the powers to alter. It's something that you have the powers to make decision on. So take a career as a choice. If you want to become a doctor, you have the powers to be. If you want to become an engineer, you have the powers to be. If you want to become a teacher or whoever you want to become, it is all within your powers. It's all within your vicinity. You can make that kind of a person that you want to be. It is not about chances. It's all about choices. Something else that Dr. has brought up and it's very, very paramount. It's also good that you keep asking yourself, where will you be 10 years from now? You know, right now we are in 2021. Everyone keeps talking about vision 2030. You know, by the time Kenya is realizing its vision of 2030, who will you be by that time? Who will you be with? You know, that's another question that she has mentioned to us, and it's very important. Who will you be with and who will you be? And what will be your contributions then in the society? Will you be offering services as that kind of a person you are intending to be today, or will you have lost your ways? Will you have lost your paths? So, my dear students, and even now as you go back and preach this gospel to other students, it's good that you tell them, as you ask yourself, as you help them, I mean, as you pass the information to them, ask this question: who will I be 10 years from now? You know, riding on the Daktari's vision that she wants to become a VC in one of these great universities. Maybe Daktari, I will also be a lecturer in one of those universities, in the university where you will be the VC. So help me God, because that's where my dream is. Other than just impacting lives, I also have that vision of becoming a lecturer at one point. I'll be lecturing in those great universities. Maybe Ganima Girls is in the house, Ganima Girls in the house, and Dr. Ali has mentioned about something to do with Kajiado, those students within Kajiado. I don't know whether it's high school students. I have a request, Dr. Ali, if it is students from high school, please, Ganima El Mazruk is in the house and it is in Kajiado. I visited them the other time. And I can tell you it's a great school. It's a Muslim school and it's a great school. So if you are considering having students from those sides of Kajiado, you can think of Ganima. You can think of Ganima, and I'm sure they also appreciate having you and having your services.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much for that kindly. Sorry for talking over you. The guys from Narok, from Kajiado, thank you very, very much. Yeah, great. So we are considering both the primary levels and the secondary levels, Ben, and we have done quite some work there. And because now we are in the pilot and we have already identified the schools that are coming, I am happy that Ben, we are with you and keep on reminding me about that school. Thank you very much, Ben.
Okay, definitely. I'll keep reminding you about that school. It's a school that I really liked. Not to say that I have not liked all the others that have joined. It's not because you have mentioned about schools in Kajiado. And I record that Ganima is here with us and it is from those sides. Now, having said that, I don't want to take again so much time because ZTech University is not here with us. The moment they come, the point at which they come in, I'll give them the opportunity to. So allow me to make my presentation. A minute, I share my screen. Thank you, there we are. I had prepared something that Daktari has already talked about, and I don't want to water down what she has said. Let's stick by that. But again, this is also part of what that I had prepared. When I visit schools on career guidance and also career counseling, to some of them, there are 6 common questions that students do ask. Some of these questions, Daktaris have answered them, but I'll just go through the question that she has not answered. So this is one of the manuals that I have prepared. This a manual that I have prepared for students. It's one of the manuals that you'll be receiving, all those who have attended. You'll be receiving, this is one of the manual. Dr. has also mentioned about some booklet from Unlocking Possibilities from Mount Kenya University is also another manual that you will be receiving. But from my manual here, allow me to deal with a few questions that I feel that you people need to know and also be able to answer, as well as share with other students. The first question is, why do you need to identify your career at early age? You know, as you sit there, as you listen to us this afternoon, you might be asking now, it's okay, you have talked about careers and all that. Why do I need to bother at this early age? Other than what Dr. has said, I want to add to that and tell you that when you identify your career at this early age, you are able to focus. You know, focus is everything. In other words, the people give, there's that story of the hawk, you know, the big story of the hawk, and it's a story that we really learn a lot from. That if you want to become an engineer and you're able to identify that truly you want to become an engineer at Form 2, then you will be able to focus on your academic goals, that you will be able to work towards being an engineer, because as you know, that there are certain criteria of which I'll be talking about later on that you need to meet for you to become an engineer. If you want to become a teacher, like Daktari, you know, like those teachers that you have there back in your school, again, there is what you need to focus on. There's a certain criteria, there's a certain grade that you have to meet for you to become that person, for you to get into that career. So it's all about focus, other than what Daktari talked about, that once you identify your career at this early age, my dear students, you'll also be able to improve your focus. Another question is, how do I identify my career? You know, it's okay. Daktari has talked about passion. Daktari has talked about skills, goals, and all that. Allow me to share with you a very, very quick steps that I have tried to give to you in brief. How do you identify your career? This is not the only process. Different writers, different authors have come up with different methods. This is just my method, and I feel that if you use this method, again, at the end of it all, you have achieved the goal of identifying your career, whether you are in Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, or Form 4. By the end of it all, we shall have achieved your goal. The first step that you need to take for you to identify your career is know your passion, know your interest. What is it that you are so passionate about? You know, career, I normally say, and I tell you this, that it is that engagement that you can get into and still work without being paid. You know, if I'm told to do career counseling, career guidance, or if I am told to offer motivational speaking, you know, some of these schools I have visited absolutely for free. I'll do it for free, not because there's any payment, but it's because it's all about my passion. It's all about a field that I would like to grow in. So that career that you choose, you want to become a nurse. Yes, you want to become a nurse. Is it true that if you are not to be paid, you'd still work to being a nurse, or you still become a nurse? Or are you going to that career because there's payment that comes with that? You know, if you want to become a teacher, okay, would you work without payment? You know, that's what we mean when you talk about passion. It is not something that you still can do without being payment, or without with a very little appreciation. You know your passion and know your interest. You know, again, when you talk about interest, it is an area that you can advance in. That area that you can advance in without a push. You know, when you become a doctor, from my understanding, is that you need to keep on learning, because new diseases, new viruses, new bacteria are emerging. So you need to keep on learning how to tackle them. Like COVID-19, a very good example. This is a virus that no one knew about, but it is here with us now. Doctors are doing everything possible to ensure that they counter the virus. They are able to bring down this virus. So how will you be able to do this if you don't do learning, if you don't improve your knowledge? That's all about interest. So career should be in that field where you need to improve yourself without a push. Nobody will come to enforce you to push yourself for you to add knowledge into that. So that's number one. The second step after you have identified your passion, after you have identified your interest, is to identify your personality. Different writers have written about personalities. You know, they have narrowed down, these are philosophers who have narrowed down to interest being all about, psychology, sorry, that interest, personality is all about introvert or extrovert. How open you are with others, how social you are with people, and all that. That's how I can narrow it down. You know, you can expand it to 4, go all the way to 16. But for our case here, it's good to understand the kind of a person you are. Just the Dr. gave an example. Allow me to give an example here. If I am a teacher, it means that I'll be engaging with strangers most. Different people, because different students will be coming to me. I'll not teach only those people that I know. I'll teach students that I don't know. So that means that I need to have my interpersonal skills very okay. I need to be very social. You know, for me to be able to identify the problems that students are going through and the life that the students are in, I need to be a little bit social. That means I need to be a bit an extrovert. You know, if you want to become a DJ, imagine walking into a club, just to give an example, and the DJ, the kind of a DJ who is there, is one who is boring. You know what I mean by boring? You know, is a DJ who don't want that noise, is a DJ who don't want that shouting. You know, how will you be able to handle this? An introvert wouldn't make a very good DJ, but an extrovert, somebody who is outgoing, would make a very good DJ. Okay, again, let's go to the hospitals and find this doctor. You know, find this doctor who, when you visit her office or his office, music is playing at its top, you know, because he is an extrovert and he's just like listening to music at loud music. You know, how would that doctor treat you? Would you even get the guts or get the courage to trust the doctor? Definitely no. So in a way, I'm not saying that extrovert cannot make good doctors. Don't get me the wrong way, but I'm saying that when you understand your personality, again, it goes a big way to helping you identify a career that you can fit in well. You know, think of an accountant. An accountant is that type of a person who will most of the time be seated in the office. Dr. said it well, and she put it better than I, and said that she's not that kind of a person to be reserved in an office. You know, maybe that's her personality. Just like she's outgoing, in other words. And so an accountant is that kind of a person who would like to be in an office because it's all about pen and paper. An introvert would make a good accountant. What about an extrovert? I'm sure you'll always be fighting off deadlines. You are not meeting your deadlines. So it's also necessary that you identify your personality. On to step number 3, understand your career personality. Understand your career personality. We have different career personalities as discussed. And here they are. John Hollard, an American psychologist, developed these 6 career personalities. Allow me to go through them in a quick way. Number 1, realistic. What do we mean by realistic? I've given good examples of works with animals. Realistic people will work with animals, will work with machines, okay? They avoid general social activities like teaching, healing, informing others, and all that. They just want to deal with real things, you know? You want to understand about machines. So how do machines work? How do they get their input, and how do they give their output? That's what we mean by being real, okay? You don't want to do anything with imagination. Let me give a good example. And I know I'll give this an example. I know I'm a teacher. I think of a teacher of history, okay? A teacher of history or a teacher of chemistry. If there is any teacher of chemistry or more chemistry, please forgive me if I had to in a way, but allow me to give this example. If you go to chemistry, chemistry will teach you about atoms. Chemistry will teach you about protons and all those other chemical reactions. But it is all about the outcome. Chemistry deals with all about outcomes. What comes out of a reaction? If you put this chemical and this together, if you react the two chemicals, what comes out of that is what we deal with as the teachers of chemistry, is what we teach, okay? But no one has ever sat to see really what goes into this. I hope I'm making myself clear. So this is what I mean by being real. So realistic careers, they have good skills in working with tools, mechanicals, electrical drawings, machines, plants, and animals. And they value practical things. You know, these are the kind of engineers. I mean, these are engineers, these are doctors. They value practical things more, and they always see themselves very practical, very mechanical, very realistic. Okay, that's the first career personality. The second career personality is investigative. Okay, and as I have written there, that investigative type of people, they like studying and solving maths or science problems. You know, in general, they avoid leading and selling and persuading people. Again, they are not so social. You know, they are good at understanding and solving science and maths problems. These are investigative, and these people, they are the kind of people who value science. You know, they keep referencing science. You know, from the scientific research that was done in this year, this was the outcome. You know, these people are just intellectual. They keep referring to science, what was done, the research that was done. Okay, then we have the third type of career personality, and this case is artistic. And being an artist in this case is all about being creative. It's all about creativity. Think of music. It's an artistic career because it's all about your creativity. Think about drawings. It's all about your creativity. Think about movies, script writing. It's all about your creativity. You sit down and create something. Whether it's whatever you create is out of imagination or it's out of an experience, it is creativity. Artistic is another career personality. And as I have said there, is that this kind of people, they always see themselves as original. You know, they produce something that it has never been produced by somebody else. They are the first people to produce this. The other career personality is social. And as I have said there, social people, they like doing things and with other people and helping other people. And I have a good example there is teaching, nursing, first aiders. You know, ICT in a way also falls into this category, that these people, they are very social. They are extroverts. They feel good in presence of others. They feel good when they are assisting other people. You know, these people, you take them in a crowd where they are total strangers. There's nobody who knows them. And within 5 minutes, they will make friends. They will have made new friends. They will be feeling very comfortable amidst of the strangers. You know, this is a social people, is a career personality that's very, very interesting. Another career personality, the fifth one, is enterprising. And they like persuading people. They like selling things. They like selling ideas. Okay. They avoid activities that requires careful observation. If you take them in the lab, you'll make the worst enemy. You know, you'll not make good friends with them, but take them where they need to persuade people. You know, I don't know whether you have ever encountered a marketing manager or somebody in the field of marketing, you know, especially maybe teachers in the house understand this much better. When somebody wants you to buy something like hawkers. Let me give I think hawkers would serve as a good example to the students. When you want to, this hawker comes around and he or she wants you to buy that wristwatch. Look at the language that this person uses. Okay, he persuades you to a point that even if you didn't want to buy, you can buy. If you are not so strong in your principles, if you are not so strong in your stats, you can buy what these people want you to buy. Why? Because they are very persuasive. Okay, they are using a language that is very convincing. Okay, this is an enterprising career personality. Then lastly, we have the conventional. Conventional, these are the kind of people who like working with numbers. They like their things done in an orderly way. They avoid ambiguity in their works. You know, These are the kind of people, they are orderly. You know, you sit with these people and they like things working from A to Z. You try to bring a Y before Z, I mean after Z, and you lose them. You not make good friends of them. These are conventional career personality. So this is what I mean, that at step 3, you need to identify your career personality. If I have discussed them in a fast way, don't you worry, this manual will get to you and you'll be able to go through them at your own pace. Then once you have understood your career personality, then step number 4, it's then the step at which you are supposed now to pick your profession. You have understood your interest, you have understood your passion, you have understood your personality. Are you an introvert or an extrovert? Okay, if you again diverse them into 4, the choleric, the sanguines, and the likes, it's still okay. Once you pick your personality, which is that career personality that rhymes with the personality that you are. That is, if you are an extrovert, you have seen that being an extrovert, you can, career personality that rhymes with that is artistic. You know, it rhymes very well. If you are introvert on the other side, an investigative career personality is the one that rhymes best with that. Okay, then after you've done that, then what can you become with the kind of a person you are? You can become a good researcher, maybe an engineer, maybe a teacher, depending on the career personalities that you have. Then once you've done that, the last step here, I call it the last step because the others, it's not anything big about identifying them, is to identify the course in the university that you need to take. Just as Dr. Lee has said, that different courses, I paraphrase, that different courses in the university will lead you into same career. For example, if I take a bachelor's of arts in education and somebody else takes bachelor's of education arts, that's my area, and somebody else takes bachelor's of science, bachelor's of education science, the two will end up being in teaching, you know, because one will be teaching an art-based subject, the other one will be teaching a science-based subject. Let me give you a good example. In the university, I took bachelor's of education arts, mathematics, and computer studies. That's what I took. Then I went to high school where I was teaching mathematics and computer studies. Another friend of mine, I took bachelor's of education science, chemistry, physics. We both ended up being teachers, but listen to the courses, they are somehow different. So though the difference may not be that big, but they are somehow different, you know? So it's good that once you have identified the kind of a person you want to be, in this case, your career, also now get to the university and know which is that course that I would want that will lead me into that career, because different courses will lead you into different careers. This is what Dr. Lee was talking about when she was mentioning about clusters. Again, don't you worry, because there are manuals that we are going to share with you, and I'm also going to tackle this in the next level, the different resources that are available for us to identify the courses and careers associated to different courses. Step number 6, once you've done step 1 to 5, step number 6, all you need to do is to review your choice. Have you picked what you really think you can become? Have you picked a course out of influence? Were you influenced at some point, or did you pick the right thing for you? That's what we mean by reviewing your choice. And once you are satisfied that you have picked the right thing for you, then go to step number 7. And step number 7, it's all about writing your dream career in block letters and make it known to your education stakeholders. Those that I have talked to before, they know that I always advocate involving people who are impactful in your line of education. These are your parents, okay? These are your friends. These are your teachers, okay? These are education stakeholders who will help you to become the kind of a person who you want to become. Let them know, let your teachers know that as you sit in that class of maths, you want to become an engineer, okay? And your teachers will work towards helping you to become that engineer. Let it be known to your brothers and sisters, if they are supportive, if they are supporting your education goals, let them know that you want to become a nurse, okay? And they will support you in becoming a nurse. Okay, they may not support you in ways, maybe, let me give this good example for you to understand it. They will support you in becoming a nurse in this way. For example, parents will ensure that you don't miss school fees. You are always in school, okay? Because some of the times our parents, and allow me to say this, my dear students, some of our parents, they fail to understand why they have to take you to school. They have to sacrifice so much of their money, and at the end of the game, you are bringing a grade that they cannot fathom, a grade that they cannot take. You know, I give this common story that I keep giving students. It's a sad story, but it's a very interesting story and educative story. There was this parent that I was having a discussion with some times back, I think 2 years ago. And this parent came to me and told me, you know what, Ben, I want you to assist me. Why? Because my student is performing pathetic in school. Why? In primary school, this student of mine was performing well. The student used to perform 300 and above, give 300 marks and above. But now he is in Form 2 and he is bringing home a D. The parent could understand, the parent could see that there's that difference, okay, between a D in high school and 300 marks in primary school. When that parent could look at it, he or the parent used to tell me, or what the parent was telling me, that he can't understand why this is happening. It's like aliuza ng'ombe apeleke nyingine shuleni. You understand? A very tough language there, but that's what the parent said. Look at it. So that parent, I want you to think about that parent. That parent doesn't find the need to sacrifice his coin to pay school fees for the son. Okay, that's why I'm telling you, it's good that you let your goal known to the stakeholders. Let your mom know that you are working to becoming an engineer, so that your parent will work hard, your mom, your guardian, or whoever it is will work hard to ensure that you will not say that he or she is the excuse of you not becoming that kind of a person. And I hope that one is clear. And so we have those 7 steps. These are my own steps. You can use the other steps that have been developed by different authors. You can use the one that fits you best. Number 1, know your passion and interest. Number 2, know your personality. Number 3, understand your career personality. Number 4, pick your profession and career. Number 5, identify the course to take in the institution of higher learning. Number 6, review your choice. Number 7, write your dream career in block letters and make it known to your education stakeholders. I believe once you do this, you'll have done something just of justice to yourself. Now, having discussed that again, I'm moving a bit fast because time again, it's not on our side, and there's so much that again we need to share with you. Allow me now to share with you another screen here. This is where I ended at last time. I have said that I don't want to repeat what Daktari has talked about. Okay, I was to talk about the myth and misinformation associated with different careers, but I want to skip that and move very fast to something here that is the available resources for career guidance. Because you are peer counselors and you are here, you are facilitated to come here as peer counselors so that you gain this wisdom and later on go share with other students the same wisdom. You might be asking yourself, then is this the only thing that we shall use for us to be able to share or to help our dear students, our friends? And I'm here to tell you, no, this is not the only information. I'm sure Daktari, if she's still in the house, she is going to share. Daktari, request that you share the slides with us so that I'll share the slides with the students. I'll also share my slides with the students. And more to that, there are other manuals that we are going to share with you. I have just told you that the manual, the 6 common questions that students ask me about careers, that's a manual I prepared. I'll be sharing with you. Daktari has also some books from Mount Kenya University that she is going to share. I'll be collecting them and sending them to you. ZTech University also has some manuals to share with you. Zarego Institute also has some manuals to share with you. But those are not the only resources that are available. There's that book that is available for you, Unlocking Career Possibilities, authored by Mount Kenya University. There is also career booklet that is authored by the Kenya National Examination Council. It is also a very, very informative booklet that it's available online. Dear teachers, I request that you can download these manuals, okay, and have them printed and share them with the students. This book, Career Booklets by Kenya National Examination Council, it's absolutely free. It is available online. You can download. The same too, the career booklet, Unlocking Career Possibilities by Mount Kenya University. Okay, we shall only be distributing 2 copies per school, okay, of each. But now you can download more copies from their website. You can have them printed. You can make a good book and distribute them to students. So my dear peer counselors, you can use these manuals to help for your own good and for the good of your students. There is also a career manual by the Kenya University and College Central Placement Services, what we call KUCCPS. This is the body that is responsible of placing students to various universities. Dr. has mentioned about this, that there are students who are paid for their fees by the government, okay, through KUCCPS. If you perform well, okay, after your high school, you'll be placed somewhere. The good thing about this is that KUCCPS nowadays is not only placing students at degree levels, they are placing students even at artisan levels. What do I mean by that? Even if you score an E, my dear student, you still can pursue your career. Why? Because you can start at artisan level, go to certificate level, and move to diploma, degree, master's, and even to the professor level, okay? So KUCCPS has authored that book. It is not free. The book is given, it is sold at some, I don't know how much it is. It cost, the last time I bought, it was 450. I don't know whether that's the same, the price now, but I'm sure the teachers in the house, you can organize and have these copies for your school, for them, for the students to make use of them. More to this, there are other free resources that KUCCPS offers. Okay, the cutoff points, manuals, okay, that is, let me explain this. Cutoff, what do you mean by cutoff points? Although it is there in my manual, you know, there are some threshold that you are supposed to meet for you to take a certain course in a certain university. Let me give a good example with Mount Kenya because it is represented by Daktari here. Okay, you might find that you qualify to take a Bachelor's of Education Arts at Mount Kenya University, but you don't qualify for the same course in a university like University of Nairobi. Why? Because of the cutoff points, because of their threshold. Maybe Daktari would have explained this much better than I, but don't you worry. Once you receive this, especially that book, The Unlocking Career Possibilities from Mount Kenya University, it explains this very well, okay? So KUCCPS has given that manual, okay, indicating different courses in different universities and their cutoff points for the last 3 years. From right now, we are in those who are getting to the university year 2020, 2019, the years goes all the way to 2017. You can be able to trace and be able to tell whether you qualify for that course, a certain course in your university of choice. Other than this, there's a common tool that is there, I'm sure in most of your schools is there, the Career Compass. And I want to challenge you, my dear students, how often do you make use of the Career Compass? I have visited so many schools, and in very few schools, I have missed this tool. In so many schools, we have the Career Compass. But do you ever bother using this Career Compass? Because we call it a Career Compass because it is a simplified way, a simplified methodology of showing you what is required in which career, what Dr. was calling a cluster. For example, if you want to take a course like computer science, okay, which are the subjects that you need? Which are the subjects that you need? It will indicate to you the fields, the different fields or the different courses available in the field of IT, talk of computer science, computer engineering, computer hardware engineering, software development, and all those, the courses in IT field and the key subjects that are needed. Okay, maybe you need physics, you need mathematics, you need English, and so on and so forth. Okay, if you want to take something like education, Okay, Bachelor's of Education Arts, to be a teacher of maybe English, be a teacher of history, CRE, those are the art subjects. Which are the key subjects that you require for you to get into that course? You require, maybe if you want to teach English, you require mathematics, you require English itself, the subject at high school, you know. That is the purpose of the career compass. Make use of this compass because it's very, very paramount, especially when you are selecting subjects. Those in Form 1 and Form 2 who have not selected their subjects, a career compass is one of the tools that will help you to identify your career and also know the kind of a subject that you need to take. Because truth be told, there are some cases that we have had of a student who wants to take a career like the most recent one that I had, the student who wants to take nursing. Okay, that is a medical related career. But this student in high school, she took physics. You know, she took physics, but she wants to take nursing. You know, because of taking physics and lacking biology in her subject, then that's an automatic disqualification. Okay, so make use of the career compass that you want to take this career. Which are the core subjects? Which are the subjects that are required for you to add into that career? Other than that, we have different career prospectus. I mean, university institution prospectus. We have prospectus from ZTech, from Zalego, from Mount Kenya, from University of Nairobi, from Meru University, from Kisii University, you know, and all that. So you can take care, you can make use of those career prospectus. Okay, again, they have so much information about our careers. Abundance of caution that this career prospectus will only work for you if you have identified your career. They work best. Maybe let me use those words. They work best for you if you have identified your career. They may not work so much for you, or they may not work for you if you don't know. If you don't know what you want to take, if you don't know what you want to become, you know. So it's also good that you take note of that. But for the career compass, the various booklets that we have from KUCCPS, from NEC, from MKU, they can help you even before you identify your career. So other resources that you can use, you have your teachers, your career teachers. And when I talk of career teachers, I don't mean that not all teachers are career teachers, okay? But we have those teachers who have been charged with the responsibilities of taking charge of careers in a school, okay? You can make use of them. Go to them, tell them that you are stuck in your process and you'd like to be helped to identify your career. Go for them. Again, just like Dr. has mentioned, you can make use of your parents, you can make use of your guardians, okay? They may not tell you the career that you want to, the career that you best fit in, but they can help you identify your interest. They can help you identify some of the traits that you hold, and these traits are associated with a certain career, or they work best with certain careers, okay? So make use of their parents, make use of the career guidance and counselors that we have, okay? Like I do conduct career sessions, free, absolutely free, virtual, when students are on holiday, okay? You can always try, you can always join. I'm not the only one, there are so many other career guidance and counselors, okay? Dr. has talked of mentors, you can go for mentors, okay? Go for those people who are already in their careers, in that career that you want to get into. Ask them about that career, ask them more that information about those careers, and they will help you again identify your career in the best way. Finally, those are the mentors that I have talked about, the professionals, the different professionals that I have talked about. Having said this, having said so much about that, before I move to the next thing, I would like to ask, is there anyone with a question, a burning question maybe I would like us to answer? If there is, I would really appreciate answering your question. If it is me you want to answer, me to answer, or Daktari. Okay, you can raise up your hand, or you can just unmute and ask your question if there is any person with a question. In the meantime, I don't know whether the representative from Zalego, not Zalego, but from ZTech is here with us. There's somebody, I had seen somebody by the name Collins Juma. Collins, I'll be giving you a chance the next few minutes. That is after questions have been asked and have been answered. If there is no question, and if you still have a question, you can always raise up your hand, okay, or you can unmute and ask your question, and we shall give you that chance. So Collins.
Hi.
Yes, we can hear you, Collins.
Oh, sorry about that. Thank you so much for the warm welcome to the session. Sorry, we've been having concurrent events today, which has resulted into us joining in late and some of us leaving. Yeah, so I think let me just have a presentation. Let me just share my screen. Sorry. Would you mind allowing me to share my screen? I think it has been disabled. Okay. Yeah, so much has been said about career, and from Dr. Mary and from Aristo. So I think it has all been about career paths and now how can you structure yourself to fit into that field. So my name is Collins Juma, a software engineer and the head of content development at Zalega Academy. So we offer some IT related programs and courses that we can now help you understand like your path and give you some of the most of the technical skills that you require in the field. So I won't go through this slide. Actually, it's a lengthy slide regarding your career and now how you can specialize yourself. But I'll go straight to the point of where now we talked of I just want to mention some of the few fields and areas that we focus on and see now which one best suit you based on your area of specialization. So let me just have a separate presentation on this so that now we can, yeah. Yeah, so as I said earlier, I'm Collins Juma from Zalego Academy. It is an institution that offers most of the ICT training with the aim of on capacity building. Sorry. So our mission is to offer skills that enable our graduates to lead productive lives and become contributing members of the global community. And we foster an enabling breeding ground that will produce the best of software engineers who will become our innovators and those who might aspire to be self-employed, so that now we provide some of the necessary support, like linking you to the most of the entrepreneurs that we are having partnership with. We have some of the key metrics of learning that we use here. So we train you, of course, project-based training model, whichever the course, I'll mention some of them in the next slides. So we do the training, project-based training model, where you are taken through by the instructor, the practical aspect, most of the ICT related courses. And then after the training, of course, you undergo the attachment. Attachment is where now you start experiencing some of the, or rather most of the industrial related projects, and now interacting with most of our developers, those who are experts in their fields, so that now you garner now all the technical aspects. After the attachment, you'll be transitioned to internship program. Attachment takes 3 months, and that is now either way you're in campus, you've gone through campus, or you've gone through our training. it will take you a period of 3 months for the attachment, and then now an internship goes for 6 months program. Paid internship, of course, you will be paid for the roles you playing. And then after that, basing on your skills again, um, you will be either way be placed in a job in the company or rather our partnering companies. So what are some of the programs that we are having? So we have different sets of program. On the screen, we have 5 different programs. That is skill discovery program, where we help now kids. Primary school, we target primary school kids. And then skill pathfinding, now you are in high school. So we target you to help you identify your path, more so the technological related path. Once you join into campus and you want to enroll into our programs, we have skill nurturing program. Why skill nurturing? Because we understand that you've already identified your area and it just needs to be nurtured. And then once you're in the corporate world, we have upskilling program. We remember this technology keeps on changing and new innovations, careers emerging. So in that case, you have to also get familiar with the new changes. So for the primary program, objective is to assist young kids with self-discovery and then to improve their IQ so that now they understand, like at that early stage, they can know like how to play around with different robots. Those are some of the few courses under that program, the robotics, and then some of the gaming to just play around with them, how to build them and see how they're gonna work around with you. And then for the high schoolers like you now, skill pathfinding program, we introduce you to, at the younger stage in the ICT world. And then we help you find your path, passion, and your strength. And then we help you also identify and mentor talented persons. So we mentor you actually part of the part of our added packages to mentor you and have a one of some of the IC career programs that will now help you nurture well into the right path. And then skill nurturing, as I said, for the campus students, we keep you with some of the industry-based skills and then nurture your skills, imparting exposure and giving you more experience. And then we'll enable you also to gain that experience through project development. Of course, project model of learning, project-based model. For the corporates, as I said, those who are now working and due to the emerging technologies and innovations, you find you need also to get more skills. So we to update your staff, I mean, or rather you with the new skills, or rather with the new upcoming technologies that are there. And then encourage mentorship program from our ICT personnel, and then ensure you as an alumni, you kept up to date with the trending technologies. All right. So career paths have been mentioned, and I have heard Aristos mentioning about, or rather talking about some of the software development roles, computer science courses that you're gonna choose basing on your combination. Maybe a brief about myself. When I joined campus, well, from high school, personally, I didn't do computer, but I found myself in the ICT related field. That course is software engineering. So I joined campus with no computer skills. So I had to learn. As I was learning the course, I had to do most of my practices of computer so that now I just understand like how it all works. Of course, it's quite freaking and you find yourself so much confused, stressed up, and kind of like not really sure of what you're doing. But in the process, through the guidance and mentorship programs, you will get always on track. So for ourselves, at Zalego, we offer these programs, that is software design and development, cloud computing, data science, and cybersecurity. So I'll just go straight to software design and development. As you've heard, when you're doing different roles, or rather you are doing specific courses, you will have to understand some of the skill sets that are required, most of the technical skills, because currently we look at your technical skills and of course some of the soft skills that you possess for you to get that job that you want, or rather that you desire. So software development, what is it and how is it? A few hours ago, we were just having session with another school And someone asked about software design and development. So what it is, what does it entail? What are some of the skill set that it has? Or rather, how do you become a software developer or rather an engineer? So you use most of the softwares, either way at school, you have school system that manages all the students. You printed some of the results, exam cards, not exam cards, but scorecards, kind of scorecard, termly scorecards. And then finance, where you pay your fees and it reflects on the system. You printed the fee structure, you've given your fee statement, what balance do you have? So that is a software product that has been built by a team of engineers. So development is simply the process of conceiving, specifying. This is just from Google search. Wikipedia, we all know Wikipedia where we search some of the information. So the process of conceiving, specifying, designing software program, where it involves so many teams, like a lot of teams is involved into ensuring that the software is in the market. So you can always become that person who is part of that team for building that particular software. Maybe some other use cases. We have some online software products like Jumia for selling. We have social media products like Facebook, Twitter, and most of other, let's say, gaming software products. So all those software undergo this process of building, designing, documenting, testing, and bug fixing, so that now it becomes fully fledged software that can be used by the end user. So these are some of the stages that it undergoes, and these stages are defined based on the roles. So these stages actually are some of the roles that you can always become. You can decide to be a person who gathers the requirement. We have business analyst. We have a designer. We have now implementation and now these software engineers. Engineers who learn how to code. Coding means writing commands or rather programming, write commands, command a computer to perform a particular task. And then reviewer and testers, they simply test whatever you've implemented. And then your deployment means transfer it. Since you've been using your desktop or rather your computer to build that product, it has to go online so that someone else can have access to it. Even if it is a website, you'll have to it will have to go live so that now anyone else can access. So that process or rather that stage is called deployment. And then maintenance, of course, is to improve new features on the existing software. A use case, we all use M-Pesa. You've had new features being added to M-Pesa that were not there. Example, Fuliza, and then your voice is my password, such kind of features. So that is now maintaining the software to ensure that it fits with the existing market, since we said innovations are happening. And now we need to also cope up with the innovations or rather with those new fields. What are now these career fields in this development? So software design and development is divided into two parts. One is web application development and mobile-based applications. Mobile-based like Facebook, Twitter, those are applications. And then some of the others apps you download like SportPesa app for those who like betting. Web-based applications are like your websites or rather help application, KRA where you go file nil returns. Those are web-based applications. So you can become that person who wants to build such kind of apps, either mobile-based or web-based. So what are some of these fields? As I said now, this one is for software design and development, most of for the web, front and back, but we won't mention this one. I won't explain this one that much. So these are just roles that you can see: front-end developer, product manager who owns that product, who ensure that the product is complete. And then now a front-end developer for building all the visible parts like Facebook or any website you visit, those parts that are visible. Who builds such kind of apps or the presentation layer of the application is now this front-end developer. So what do you need to become a front-end developer, or rather a software engineer or a web developer? You want to build web-based applications like help system where you can apply for loans, KRA where you can go file your nil returns, or your website, general website, schools websites, or school-based applications, ERPs, enterprise resource applications, such kind of apps. So what are some of these skills you require? Of course, at the Lego, we offer most of all of these skills for technology-related programs. These include learning the basics of building that product, that means you'll be taken through ground up, or rather from scratch, as it said. So from scratch, taken through project-based learning model that I explained before, that we use now to ensure that you gain that industrial skills. So courses aligned to these are web design and development courses, and then full stack web design and development, then mobile application development. So you have some of the, we call them programming languages that you learn. If you've done computer, I believe you understand programming languages, or rather you've heard of programming languages. PHP, Java, Python, you've heard of some. Either way, you've just heard of some of the programming languages that you can do. And then, so careers under this still, we have junior. Of course, as I said, you will grounded up. So you'll begin as a junior. Once you finish up with the program and you have acquired the skills required or necessary, you'll be grounded. You'll start your role as a junior developer, and then senior, lead, and then manager. So you can see how you can transition basing on the years of experience. So that is how your role kind of transitions. Backend, these are the guys who deal with the database, or rather behind the scenes. When you log into the website, when you are creating your web Facebook account, you didn't know where this information was going. Where was it being saved? So it was being saved somewhere. And those who now ensure that this information you're submitting is processed well and stored somewhere are now backend engineers, or other developers. So they work with the front-end engineers now to power the front end of the website. So they ensure that that information is stored somewhere. All your posts that you do posting on your Facebook or any other social media, where is it being stored and how do you retrieve it so that you can see it alongside your timelines? So those guys, what they do. These are some of the mobile programming, where you just build mobile softwares for the smartphones, or rather tablets, basing on the device type. And then now we move on to these are the languages. Of course, here we train these languages. Now you have to learn a programming language for you to be able to build that product that you want to. Like SportPesa app, you'll have to learn a certain language to build such app that will give you real-time information, how the teams are scoring, who is scoring this game, at what point, or rather who is being substituted. You always see some kind of sports game, how they deliver that information in real time. So you learn a programming language that will now perform. Those are some of the instructions you give to that particular software you're building, so that it will just perform those commands. So these are some of the mobile application career paths. You can become a mobile app developer and then transition to head of mobile development. You now head a team. You have a team that you can lead, and then finally become a product manager. You can also become a cross-platform developer. Here it means you can build an application that runs on either devices. You've seen we have different operating systems like iOS and then Android based. And you realize while you are using those applications, you can't install an an iOS app from App Store to Android based application. Either way, you can't install a Google Play Store application for Android to iOS. So there is someone who can just specialize to building now cross-platform, where you build one application, but you can install on both Android and iOS. So you can also transition that way to head of mobile development, and then you become a project or other product manager. Right. So another category field that is very important and on the market currently is data science and AI. I'll use simple use cases. So these guys analyzes large amount of complex data and process that information to find pattern that will benefit an organization, and then brings in some of the insights. At first, I talked about the business analyst. You go to the market, analyze the market, and then come up with the new ideas that can help now to grow the business in terms of bringing in the new solutions. So in data science field, anything surrounding data actually is just data science, because that is a field on its own. It has so many other subsets that are just mentioned here as we continue. Like AI, artificial intelligence, kind of like it mimics human behavior. You've seen of some of the applications like I'll use some of the use cases. For example, these ones, let me just go straight to them. Like in most of, if you have a YouTube account or Netflix, if you love watching movies, you always see some suggestions coming in, or a good example is social media like Twitter, Facebook. You always see some recommendation. Your friend, it suggests for you the request. So how does it know that you know this person? How does it know? Either way, in in YouTube or Netflix, they suggest for you the movies that you love watching. As you continue watching that consistency and the kind of playlist you love, it will always recommend for you similar suggestions. So how does it know? It is because of the power of ML, artificial intelligence, and general data science field. So here use case, you can see Netflix takes advantage of predictive analytics to improve recommendations to its users. Machine learning powered algorithms, they analyze you as a user, your preferences, like what you love watching. If it is this particular category, do you love action movies? Do you love I don't know which other categories that you love. Either way, the cartoons, so you will always find that cartoons are now part of your suggestions as you continue either way, logging into your account some other time. And then now, some of these applications are chatbots. You've interacted with chatbots online. You go to the certain website, you just find a pop-up and it welcomes you. Voice assistants like current systems or other current fonts version, the current updated fonts, you'll always find either way for like Google Home, where you can just speak with your phone and it responds based on what you requested it to. And then we have statistics of such queries. You always search through Google search, Google Chrome, where you search and you always find suggestions. How does it know? As you continue searching, it keeps track of what you love doing, and now it will always be giving you suggestions. And then face recognition, it kind of recognizes your face. I've given an use case of YouTube video recommendations, and then Facebook and Instagram uh, suggestions for friend request and so forth. So those are some of the few use cases. Another one is here like autocomplete. You just start typing a message, and or rather this one is for a follow-up. This is Outlook, which it predicts based on the message that you've sent. It just gives you a prediction. So like you can see here use case, commitments and follow-ups from your messages. 3 days ago, I asked someone that could you please share this link to your students for enrollment. Let them choose pay letter option. So it is reminding me like kind of a follow-up. How did it know that I asked this question? So it's through the power of now ML. Another use case, auto suggestion, auto complete. When you just start typing a message through your Gmail or Microsoft, you will always find these suggestions. Could you please? Then you need to tab either way, and then it auto completes for you. So how does it know what you want to type? So that is now the power of machine learning. So you can decide to become that person who now builds such kind of product. You can see how interesting they are. There are just sample overview of some of another use case for the self-driving cars or robots that are now used to deliver products. You've ordered product from Jumia, and now we use robot to deliver it to your area. How does it know your location? Either way, you can just have a quick watch for the video. So you can see it is just kind of moving as it deliver product to this particular user who requested it. So I'll just push it very fast because of time. So you can see it is moving. It now stands. So basing on the location of that user, it tracks actually the location. And then now it is able to identify when the user has picked up the product, it just closes and now go back to either way the manufacturer. So you can see such kind of product. How do you now build them? These are robots powered by AI. Yeah. Okay, so these are some of the few use cases of machine learning. I won't go through this. So like I said, data science is this field that encompasses machine learning, artificial intelligence, and now the general data science. So what are the courses we offer here are data annotator, where you kind of categorizes images, labeling images so that now we using that data, we can now, data analysts can now analyze the data engineers can now create the models, and then data scientists finally brings in out the insight basing on the data. So these are some of the few roles that you can become as a data scientist. Yeah. So either way, these are the applications of these fields, and you can see in marketing, travels, healthcare, sales, credit and insurance, automations, social media, where it is used commonly. So these are some of all the fields. So you can see how this field is quite wide, and it requires so many people or other personnel to fit in. So acquiring these skills will help you now to secure a job in data science field. I'll finalize by cybersecurity, which is so common also, protecting your data from breaches and other attacks that might arise within the organization, because we understand that data is key and it needs to be protected. So we offer that program, and for cybersecurity, which has so many other fields in it. You can always be like, before you become a cybersecurity, actually it's like an umbrella with other fields. Um, in the sense that we have here on my screen, you can see feeder roles. These are some of the different roles that you can join to become a cybersecurity expert. As a teacher, you can join to become a cybersecurity. If you're a networking admin or a software developer, as my role, I can decide to major in cybersecurity. If you're an IT support, where you just support IT, setting up internet or hardware stuffs for the IT, you can decide to become a cybersecurity master. So it doesn't matter which role you are, or rather the field you're currently in, but you can just transition your field with that interest of learning, and then you can now be a cybersecurity expert. Then you have entry levels where you become a specialist, or rather crime analyst, incident intrusion analyst. You always hear DCIs. These guys, how do they capture either fraudulence that might have happened on social media or anyone else? You always find that they have a within few days, they've already captured the those who might have committed such kind of crimes. Mid-level role, of course, you'll always transition from federal, entry level, mid-level to advanced level role. So if you want to major into that particular field, this is now an opportunity for you. So these are some of the few career paths for the cybersecurity, where you can become a network administrator, ensuring that the servers are secured. You provide a lot of, setting up internet connectivity, enabling communication of different computers, and all those kind of stuff related to network. IT support, where you can transition to cybersecurity specialist or cybercrime analyst, or rather incident and intrusion analyst. As a software developer, I can also become a cyber analyst. Cybersecurity analyst, and then become a cybersecurity engineer, ensuring that online products or data is well protected, setting up that clear infrastructure on the online, also online storage. And then still you can become a cybersecurity architect. As a cybersecurity consultant, you can transition to managerial role, or still an engineer, and then architecture. So it's quite wide field also, which has sub roles in it that you can always decide to learn. So what are the benefits of learning with us? I'll just finalize with this. One, career coaching, where your career guide will always help you personalize your pitch, job search strategy. Once you start learning with us, of course, we have the technical mentors, as you can see, also, who will mentor you and guide you throughout your learning journey, answering questions, most of the technical parts through consultations, and taking you through the whole program. And then we have the support community. Of course, you'll become our alumni, where you can now network with other students and mentors. And then finally, you'll always be engaged into building real world projects. Learn as you develop, or rather build industrial-based projects that are gonna help you master your technology-related skills that company might want. So these are some of the few benefits you will get apart from just learning. Of course, you need to be mentored. As I said, ICT related courses, you will need both technical skills and the soft skills. And now here, this is where the soft skills comes in, where you'll just be guided through like, how do I do my communication? How do I know how to talk to clients? Because you as a developer or an engineer, you'll always be talking to clients because you're building them products. How do you explain these technical parts to a client who doesn't understand? And how do you ensure that you understand clients' needs basing on their requirements, that they want this particular product to work, to fit their businesses? So thank you so much, though I know the time wasn't enough, but I think the little I've presented, hope they are of helpful to the entire audience. Thanks, Arosto, and take it over.
So thank you so much, Collins from Zarego. I actually didn't know that you're from Zarego. I thought you are the representative from ZTech, but it's still okay. That's still okay, Collins. I don't know whether Kelvin is here. Kelvin, I can give you 5 minutes at most if you are here.
No, Kevin is in another meeting. We were having concurrent meetings, that's why, so I stepped in for him.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. So then I don't know whether the representative from ZTech is here. If he is not here, I don't know whether he's here, which is still okay if he's not here. Now, I know we've shared so much. There's so much that has been shared with us, dear students, from the time Daktari took over at 1 up to now. It's almost heading to 4:30. I don't know whether there's still a question. I want to ask if there's any question from the students. Maybe teachers, you can assist the students to ask questions. Yes, there's a question from Jorwa High. Jorwa High. Jorwa High, we are waiting for your question, please.
I'm Millicent from
the technical team from Jorwa, please assist. There's so much echo from your side. We've just heard that somebody by the name Millicent is asking. Carry on. Millicent from Jorwa High, if I got the name right, we are waiting for you to ask your question.
As you have said, Dr. Mary, that we should not stop thinking about the big careers that they have jobs. What is the reason about that? Because people aim for big careers so that they can get good jobs. Why for that?
Well, I didn't get your question clearly. You asked that Daktari said that you go for careers that have good jobs. Is that what you said?
Yes. That we should stop thinking about big careers so they have jobs. And why?
Okay. Well, I think Daktari, I don't know whether Daktari is still in the is still with us. She can answer this question. But if she's not here with us, I can step in for her. Now, I think there's somewhere you didn't get it right. What Daktari was trying to explain is that there's no career that pays. There's no career that will make you richer. That's what she was trying to communicate. And it's good that I also make this clear that it is all about investment. There's no career that can't make you rich. There's no career, if your definition of success is rich, if you are looking for material wealth and you want us to get that career that will give you that material wealth, the thing is there's no career that won't give you that material wealth. It's all about investment. I know of teachers. Like teaching is one of the careers that is termed as a low-paying career, a career that doesn't pay in the law language. So here's the thing. It's all about the investment. I know of teachers who owns big companies. I know, like I don't know, you have ever heard of Pasture? I don't know what the Nini says, what the company is called, but I know that that company, it's somehow associated with the teachers. So all careers do pay. It's all about how you make use of the literal token that you receive from each career. Okay, you can go to law where people think that law is a career that really pays, but you still not get so much out of that, depending on how you make use of your money, depending on how you use your money. Okay, so it's all about investment. It is not that there is a career that will pay so much and a career that will not make you rich. There is no career that will ever make you poor, and there is no career that will ever make you rich. It's all about how you manage your finances. I hope your question is well answered. Still, I can see that Joru, hi, your hand is up. Another question?
If one performs in a certain subject, and yet his or her career is not suited in it, should one change the career or change the subject?
A good question. And let me just to confirm that I have gotten your question right, that if one performs in a certain subject and the subject is not associated with the career, should you change your career or should you drop the question? Should you drop the subject? I guess that's the question, if I have gotten it right. True?
Yes.
Now, note this, that every subject counts. Every subject counts. Why do I say that every subject counts? For you to get to the university, okay, to take a degree course, in our university, institutions of higher learning, in our Kenyan university, it is mandatory for you to have gotten a C+ to get a direct admission. What do I mean by a direct admission? That from high school, you get admitted to the university to take that degree course. You require to have attained at least a C+, aggregate of C+ in your KCSE. And that is where now all the 7 or the 8 or the number of subjects that you take counts. Okay, so you need to put effort, equal effort in all subjects, because that subject will make you or will help you to attain the C+, which in turn will help you to get to that degree course, which again in turn will lead you to your career choice or to that career that you want to. So if you are performing so well in this career, for example, let me give you a good example of myself. Okay, I started as in teaching. Okay, that's my career. All right, but back in high school, I did computer studies. Computer studies, it's not a must for you to become a computer studies teacher. It's not a must for you to have done computer studies in high school. Okay, but that subject contributed to me getting to the university, to taking a degree in education arts for me to become a computer studies teacher. Are you together? You may also think of a subject like, let's go to law. Okay, you want to pursue law and you want to become a lawyer. That's your career. Okay, the subject that matter or the subject that looked at in that course, it's something like mathematics. I know English or Swahili. Okay, your performance in English or in Swahili. I know of performance in your CRE or history. Are you together? But again, you. Okay, somebody with Oppo A83, please. Try to mute. So as I was explaining, you want to take law, and in that law will not look so much into your performance in chemistry. Do not look so much into your performance in your biology, in performance in your physics. But this subject will determine this grade that you score for you to get to the university, to get that bachelor's of law. I hope I make that clear for you. So the baseline is that every subject counts. Every subject counts. So have equal. Thank you. So have equal, should I say, distribution of effort in all your subjects, because they will all count. Okay. And this is where, again, to add to that, we say that make sure that you get your, you get to know your career, your course. Once you identify your course, get to know which are the subjects that it requires, okay, from the high school. Okay, that one will help you so much. I don't know whether Daktari has something to add to that. Daktari.
Yes, thank you so much for your good explanation. And I also liked the way an explanation was given, which you said, where you went to teaching, but again, you are in teaching, but having different things. I know, and I'm sorry for some noise here. I know sometimes, and I had a student who wanted to be a teacher, but took mathematics and biology, yes. But this student actually failed in all the mathematics. I think it's getting a bit noisy, yeah, sorry. Failed in all the mathematics units. But the whole thing is that he wanted to be a teacher. Oh my God. So now the thing is this, is that you can change the subject, but maybe you may not change the career because that's what you want. So I advise the student, because you are failing in mathematics, why can't you take agriculture and biology, and they are also acceptable? Okay.
Well explained there by Daktari. So I hope your question, Jodwa, has been answered. Any other question?
Career, should one look for unique career, yet one fears to lose careers which majority of people have?
Come up again, please.
When choosing a career, should one look for a unique?
Well, I didn't get your question clear. When choosing a career, should one look for a unique? I don't know.
Should one look for a unique career, yet one fears to lose careers which majority of people have?
Yet somebody, you are fearing to lose. You are fearing to lose a career that majority of people have.
Yes.
So in other words, you want to get to a field, or you want to get to a career where there are majority of people.
Is it right to choose a unique one?
Is it right to choose a unique one? Absolutely. It's very okay. It's very okay to choose a career that is different. Daktari gave a very good example. Okay, she said that from her family, there were 10. Okay, they are 10, I mean, but nobody shares a career with the other. So meaning that as she's here with us, she's just a teacher from her family and no other teacher. You know, so it's good, it's okay to choose a unique career. Same case to me. From my family, I'm from a family of 3. My elder sister is in IT, computer science. My younger sister is pursuing business management. I pursued education. Again, we are from different careers. So it's very okay. You can choose a career that is not with many people. Again, there's something that I would like also to mention here. It's good that you don't get influenced by friends when choosing your career. Okay, because I have made it in teaching, it doesn't mean that you can also make it in teaching. Okay, I have friends of mine. I am a teacher of mathematics. Okay, I have friends of mine who are teachers of CRE, and you know what they tell me? If you give me maths, I'll be off. Okay, to them, they cannot do well in mathematics, but they do well in CRE and those other subjects. The same case to me. Okay, I cannot be what daktari is. If you tell me that to start teaching English, oh, tunakosana mara hiyo hiyo. So it's good to be unique. It's good to have a career that is not with so many other people. That's a uniqueness, which is very much acceptable. I hope your question is answered. Somebody else?
I would love to add something on the same
Yes,
question.
Collins.
Yes, so basing on the career choices, I know most of us are confused, of course, putting in your, or rather putting myself in your shoe as I was in my high school. I think I was also quite confused, freaking out and not knowing exactly what I want to do. So these are some of the aspects I would love maybe just to put across, that you need to watch your interest, focus on what you enjoy doing, and make a list of things you enjoy doing. And then I would love also to add that you investigate your options. You've listed what you love doing, and even now be persistent about them so that now you ensure that you focus onto them. And then finally, follow your dreams and dream big, whatever they are. Never make your decisions about your future based on pleasing others or how hard you think it is to reach your dream. And I would finalize it by saying that, of course, yes, we were all confused in terms of choosing your career. But if I could go back in time and speak to overstressed, freaking out young kid who is trying to focus on to identifying what you want to do, I would tell them that stop searching for a perfect path, start focusing on your own path instead. And I will tell him or her that tap into your unique path that you feel comfortable with. And I will tell you that you need to trust, and that to trust that if you make the decision from the information you have based on your own interest, research, dreams, and that without any doubt, the best decision, that is the best decision you would have made. So I think that is my response on this, on that question.
Okay, thank you so much, Collins, for that. I hope the question is now well answered. Any other question? I wouldn't want to leave a student question unanswered. Just unmute and ask your questions. If there is no question, then we carry on. Well, I'll take silence as no or questions. However, if you still have questions and you still want your questions answered, you can always reach us and we can try to answer your question in the best way possible. Now, having said that, again, as I promised, I don't want to take more time than we were given. Okay, we are coming to the end of our session. I hope the session was informative. By now, I believe that you are not the same as you came in, okay? This is to the students. As you came in, I hope that we've met your expectation. I hope that the objectives that you had also have been met. If there is any, I would really have to know for me to know what I can do for us to meet this objective. As I call it off, as we end, there is a student leaders virtual mentorship that is coming. This is for the prefects on December 11th, 2021, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. I want to extend an olive branch to all those schools that have joined us today. This mentorship will be absolutely free and it will only be for you. It will not be, there is not any other person who will be allowed to join. It is absolutely free for those schools that have joined. The 6 schools that are here with us. We have Jorua. Allow me to give a shout out to them. These schools, we have Jorua High School, we have Mary Hill Girls, we have Gatamayo Boys, we have Ganima El Mazouk Girls High School, we have Getuaba all the way from Laikipia, and we have Dome Boys again all the way from Laikipia. I'll be giving a student, your prefects, mentorship. I'll have another team that will be here with us on December 11th, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. I'll be sending you the link to register. It's absolutely free. Again, I repeat, it's only for those schools, for the 6 schools that have joined us. I'm also made to understand that there are schools that have presented as many students as they could. And as I said, as it was written in the letters, it's only 2 students who will receive a certificate, those who are registered. However, if you want to receive a certificate and maybe you did not register, all of you are not registered, okay, reach to us or reach to me through my contacts. I'll be able to get to you. I'll be able to advise you on how to get those certificates or how you receive certificates on this. Remember, this was a peer counselor's career mentorship. Initially, I had thought of just to go and dispense the information and the wisdom to the others, but some schools requested to present more, which is still okay. I have no problem with that, but I'll still stick to what we had. Again, it's only 2 students, 2 peer counselors who will receive the certificate of participation. However, if you are from the same school, or if the teacher you are here, you want your peer counselors, those others who came in or who joined for this session to receive, please reach to us. We shall be able to generate these certificates for you. Then after this, you receive your certificates. You receive the booklet from Mount Kenya University. You receive a gift hamper from ZTech University. You receive a gift hamper from Zalego. And I'm told that Kevin is here and wishes to give their gift hampers right now, which is still okay, from Zalego University. You'll also receive the career manual that I have prepared for you. So before I call it off, Kevin, are you here with us? Kevin from Zalego. Collins.
Sorry, Kevin is not in right now.
Had he sent you with the gift hampers?
Maybe we'll find out and then we will share it later on with the group.
It's okay, there's no problem. Then I can assure you, the students, that it will still get to you. As I said, the others, I'll also make sure that that one for the Zalego is also sent to you. Otherwise, thank you so much. And till our next meeting, which I hope will be soon, that is on 11th, I wish you well. Please pass over my gratitude to the school, your principal, your director, your career heads, your guidance and counseling department heads, and also to all those who have assisted me achieve this. Madam Daktari, sorry, we have Daktari, she's here with us. We have a team from Zalego and team from ZTech which didn't manage. I'm very grateful. I don't take it for granted. Until our next meeting, have yourself a good time. May the good Lord protect you and have yourself a nice time. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much, Dome Boys, Getuaba, Mary Hill, and all others. May God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate.